give the man a chance, see if he can right the ship. And I, for one, believe he can. I guess we're going to find out.
We had a bad offensive coordinator that didn't fit KJ. KJ needs to be in that RPO.
Really love to see offense step it up, play with some passion, play with some sense of urgency, play with some fire.
Has the offense been great? No. But at the same time, I think you also got to look at the level of competition you've been playing as well.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text The Morning Rush on the McClarty Daniel hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
Yes, sir.
And welcome into a What's Your Beef Wednesday edition of the Morning Rush. You heard some callers right there from Tuesday's show that were definitely beefing with a couple things. Again, we've had a bunch of calls and texts on the McClarty Daniel hotline the last 2 days. We will continue to take calls. We'll hear from Richard Davenport coming up in this hour. Clay will join us in the 8 o'clock hour. We had the World Series set. More from Sam Pitman. KJ was on halftime yesterday. Plenty to get into on this beautiful Wednesday.
Midway through the week and almost done with the month of October. The year's starting to wind down. You start to wonder where it all went. Seems like we just started football season, and now we're down to the last 4 regular season games. What's Your Beef Wednesday? Brought to you by Farm Credit. If you farm, that's enough on your plate to worry about. Don't worry about the rising cost of interest and what it's going to do to your payments and your cash flow with your operation. You can lock in a long-term fixed rate with Farm Credit, the longest terms in the ag industry, and if rates drop, you can easily adjust with no new refinancing application, no new appraisals, and no new title work. At Farm Credit, they just make it simple. Find a Farm Credit office near you. MyAgLender.com is their web address. MyAGLender.com. Farm Credit is an equal housing lender.
So my beef starts with my inability to get rid of this cough in the last 4 or 5 days. I've had it since Thursday or Friday, and I've taken countless cough drops, taken some other medicine as well, and I usually have a pretty decent immune system. Give my dad credit for that. He's rarely sick, but for whatever reason, man, I can't get rid of this thing. I sound nasally. I've taken the Flonase, the Claritin, the cough drops and other things, but emergency vitamin C, but it's still stuck with me.
You're over-medicating. There's your problem.
I didn't take anything the first couple days, and then
now you're taking everything.
The pharmacy,
you just went down the aisle. You're over-medicated.
I just asked the pharmacy.
He may say anything today, folks. That explains the Chad Morris comments a couple days ago. You're over-medicated.
The accurate Chad Morris comments that were.
I've been on full-time defense of you over those comments. Well, no, Ty's not, I've had to really defend your honor over some of those things you said.
I doubt you were doing that. I think that you were adding on if I had to guess, but that's okay.
You weren't there, so you'll never know.
I don't need any defense. That's what I believe. Hopefully we don't get to that.
No matter
point.
how wrong it is.
And again, to put into context, for those that missed Monday's show, I said this team is in dangerous territory of entering Chad Morris stuff. Or entering Chad Morris territory.
So hopped up on the cough medicine, and didn't even know what he said.
Paraphrasing. So an 0-8 SEC season is pretty dang close to Chad Morris territory, if you ask me. We don't play in a league that gives out participation trophies based on how close you lose football games. Yeah. A loss is a loss. I don't want to sit here at the end of November on Hog Reaction talking about an 0-8 SEC team. Hopefully I don't have to. Well, Sam Pitman, you got to get that figured out. You've already changed, again, your offensive staff a little bit midseason. Hopefully there's some life within that side of the football. There's life everywhere else. It's just been no life in offense this year.
Listen to, and I know you did as well, to KJ's conversation with Phil and Matt on halftime yesterday, and he sounded like he had a little, I don't know, little more pep in his step. Certainly a lot more than he had on Saturday. I know we're going to play some of the audio from that, but I'll be interested, with 2 weeks, really about 10 days to get ready for this Florida game. How much different can they look? How much, and how, I would love to know if, truthfully, how involved KJ will be. And they talk about, limiting the volume of the offense, meaning the size of the playbook. How involved will he be in selecting what they move forward with? It really sounded to me yesterday that he wants to reintroduce tempo back to this offense that we have rarely seen under Dan Enos.
I don't care if they reintroduce the wing double T. I just want them to score some points. And they haven't done that this year. That's the one unit you had confidence in before the season. And yet they've been the worst.
The wing double T. I'm trying to
triple option.
I'm trying to
T,
envision
whatever,
the wing double T.
Whatever. Anything. Golly, it's been frustrating. That's for the biggest beef all season.
It
It's
sounds
how
like
bad
something off the
offense.
bar menu where you hang out on the wing.
Yeah.
I need the wings double T.
Need some wings, honestly.
Yeah.
David and Alma text in on the McCarty Daniel hotline recommending I do some honey whiskey shots. I have had a little bit of honey. Honey's great. I'm probably going to do more of those. My throat doesn't hurt anymore, but I still have the stopped up nose and the coughs. I mean, I was coughing late into the night last night. I go to bed about 8:30, 8:45, and probably didn't fall asleep till 10:30 just because I was coughing the whole stinking time. But yeah.
Harry Dog in Fayetteville on the McClarty Daniel hotline thinks you have COVID maybe. Maybe I need to back up. Here, let me and Big C move out of the way.
I have, since that went down.
All those hey, Big C, all those sus places he hangs out on the weekend, maybe he's brought it back in here.
Yeah, if anyone's going to catch it, it'll be him.
It'd be him, all them sus locations he's in.
But what's so odd is that I have at least not, of the tests I've taken, I've never tested positive. The
smart thing anymore is you just don't test, right? You just feel bad. Yeah. You just feel bad for 2 days and you just don't test anymore.
What's the deal where you have it, but there's no effects? What's that called again?
You
have
asymptomatic.
Asymptomatic.
Yeah.
I guarantee I've been asymptomatic, but I haven't had any effects to this point.
The only thing I would guarantee when it comes to you and COVID is you didn't catch it from a woman. That'd be the only thing I'd guarantee.
Ooh, that's harsh words here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. John from Mountain Home agrees with me. John, you're my man. Thank you. I don't want to be entering that conversation after.
No, he was talking about your nasally sound. That was what John was talking about.
I don't think so. I'm gonna be selective this morning with what he agreed with.
No,
and on
I think that had to do with the way you sounded.
Mitchell from Lincoln says that I should have a bye week this week. Well, it is going to be a bye week of sorts. Big C is going to go to the Purdue game this weekend, which, by the way, Musk said yesterday, 14,000 seats sold, 3,000 student seats probably going to be filled. You're at 17K right now, and that doesn't include probably the Purdue side of things. He's trying to get this sucker sold out. Yeah. Y'all, tickets right now.
There's no visiting tickets.
If you go on StubHub and if you go on Vivid Seats, are $30-something with fees for lower or upper deck, and about $50-something for lower bowl. This is an opportunity if you don't have season tickets, if you don't go customarily, if you're not going to do any of that typically this year, which is fine, you can't afford it or you just can't go because of time, work scheduling, whatever. This is your chance to go. Tickets are cheaper than they'll be all season long. And you got a top 5 team, you got a player of the year, and this is not an exhibition game. This is a real game this Saturday, and they're going to treat it as such.
Well, it's the best game you're going to see because what is it, Alcorn State you open with? You're not going to see anything this good, even though it won't count officially for a while until you, go to Atlanta. You won't see anything like this all year long other than Duke.
You just have to pay $5,000 to go to the Bahamas, go to Nassau.
5?
Per person, right?
It'll be a great measuring stick.
Yeah. All right, we're off and running. What is your beef on this Wednesday? Call or text us on the McClarty Daniel hotline. We'll take those calls coming up. We are brought to you this morning by the Fence Man, the company we trust with any kind of fencing or gating project. Anything you need for home or business, commercial, residential, chain link, wood privacy fence, vinyl fencing, custom jobs that maybe it's unique and different, or maybe just an idea you have. You want to see if their craftsmen and their skills can pull off. They can do it with the Fence Man. 18 months, same as cash financing available. 782-3936. The Fence Man He ain't afraid of no work.
Taking more of your calls and texts coming up next.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here and hitthatline.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Vegas, baby! Vegas, baby!
This is the Morning Rush. Brothers Roofing and Restoration wants to put a new roof on your home for free. Go to hitthatline.com and enter the free roof sweepstakes. Have you had recent wind or storm damage? Has your insurance company denied your roofing claim? Enter to win a free roof valued at up to $15,000 from Brothers Roofing and Restoration. Go to hitthatline.com and click on free roof. Deadline to enter is November 10th. Get a free roof on your home from Brothers Roofing and Restoration.
What are you Jimmy staring at? Back to work. Oh, work.
The biggest and best selection of 2023 GMCs are at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get financing as low as 1.9% with approved credit and $500 in loyalty cash back on 23 GMC Terrain. If you own a 2009 or newer Buick or GMC, conquer with confidence in a 2023 GMC Terrain from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
The Links at Chaffee Crossing takes great pride in providing award-winning barbecue. Whether the craving is for ribs, pork, brisket, or chicken, we can satisfy any appetite. Stop in and watch the game and enjoy everyday food and drink specials like $5 mixed drink specials or $2 domestic beer. Open Tuesday through Sunday, the Links at Chaffee Crossing is ready to serve you the best barbecue in the River Valley. The Links at Chaffee Crossing next to Deer Trails Golf Course. Come see us.
Riley Farm Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Hey, it's James Teague. Over the years playing baseball, I've grown accustomed to closing innings, but now I'm closing cases. With almost 30 years in the business, the Teague Law Firm can help you with all family law matters, including divorce, custody, and child support. We can also help with criminal law such as traffic offenses, DWIs, and more. Call me at the Teague Law Firm at 479-877-1688. That's 479-877-1688. Visit us online at teague-law.com.
Teague Law Firm, if they can't help you, they'll talk football.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith is your off-road headquarters. Kawasaki has you covered on 2 or 4 wheels with huge savings. Right now, save up to $2,500 on select Kawasaki KX dirt bike models, as well as $2,500 off select Kawasaki Teryx utility vehicles, like the 2023 Kawasaki Teryx SLE. Check out their loaded showroom at 901 North 11th Street near downtown Fort Smith, or see it all online at WheelerPowersports.com. Wheeler Power Sports, family-owned and operated, and keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
How do I drive more traffic to my website? How do I increase my Google rankings? If these are just a few of the questions you have for your business, then we should talk. In addition to sports radio marketing, ESPN Arkansas can help your business be found online. From website design to geo-targeted campaigns, search engine marketing, social media management, streaming video campaigns, and much more. ESPN Arkansas is your digital marketing partner. Go to ESPNArkansasDigital.com for your free digital marketing audit, or email us at sales@hitthatline.com to schedule an appointment.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Jefferson off play action. Going to throw a little screen pass left side. Has completed the 5. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Arkansas. Luke has from 11 yards out, and Arkansas is a PAT away from tying.
Join the conversation. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963.
All right, again, we're taking your text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, like our guy Hanson just said. And Mitchell from Lincoln points out something that is worthy of being said. So, again, you can buy tickets through a third-party website, but if you go to ArkansasRazorbacks.com, and I just did, there are upper deck tickets right now. They're pairs, they're 3 in a row, whatever. They're just going for $15 plus a $3 fee.
On the sideline or the end zone?
End zone.
Okay.
And there's a couple sidelines ones, but it's much more in the end zone. But
when I looked a while back, the lower bowl was all onesies.
Yep. There's no lower bowl now, at least on the Arkansas website. There's plenty of them on third parties.
And
but
I wish they, because I've tried to go in there when there's like 3 together and buy 2 of those 3. They won't let you.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how we end up with all these onesies. Because it'll never let me leave one when I try to buy them that way.
Well, what sellers could do is they can. Oh, you're starting bleeding.
What have I done?
Are you scratching yourself?
I don't know.
Tommy's. We need a Band-Aid in here. So what you can do as a seller is you can elect to either sell all of them together or sell if you have 3, you can sell 2 or you can sell 1. Most sellers will, again, say you have to buy all of them. Yeah. At least that's on third-party websites.
I don't remember on but the university website, when trying to buy them first party, not second party, they won't let you do it.
Okay.
So I don't understand how we end up with all these onesies based on that. But anyway, that's not the point. So couple thousand seats left. They're not prime seats, but you're in the building. So
$15? I mean, you got a Saturday at 3. It's not like it's way early, Tom. It's not like
the
it's way
money's
late.
going. Let's see that a portion or whatever on these tickets are going to the tornado victims back in the spring in Central Arkansas. So that's going to help those guys.
Yep. Good point. All right, so that's basketball side of things. What's going on in football? What KJ have to say about Coach Guyton? What do you think? We've got some text we're going to get to coming up, and again, hear from Pitman as well in regards to his football team.
Hey, the Hickey and Hull Law Partners, they're growing their firm. They've added offices in Mena, also Central Arkansas, in addition to their Fort Smith and Northwest Arkansas locations that have been there for years. They've been serving clients and helping families in the Polk County, Scott County area, and south of Mena for a long time now, and in Central Arkansas, but now they've added a permanent office location to better serve you. So if you live in Mena, if you live in Central Arkansas or Fort Smith or Northwest Arkansas, and you need help with a family law matter, custody case, civil or criminal matter, let the 7 decades of experience of the Hickey and Hull Law Partners go to work for you. 479-434-2414 to schedule your consultation. The Hickey and Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better. Online at kevinhickeylaw.com or again 479-434-2414.
So there was a good conversation yesterday on Halftime featuring Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and KJ Jefferson. Talked about a variety of things, but particularly the offense. Here's what he said about Coach Guyton. We'll get to that audio coming up in just a sec. But again, he was very, very positive about some of the things that are going on. Now I'm sorry.
I always have love for Coach G, as we call him, and he once played quarterback before, so he understands from a quarterback perspective and where we seeing back there and how the role and how the game is being played from my point of view. So I'm just excited for him. I mean, we're going to run the same thing, but it's going to be a slight difference in the offense as far as going tempo-wise and being able to do certain things that we're good at and being able to build off those things that we are good at.
That was the buzzword of yesterday's conversation, which is Tempo. Yeah, how many times did we hear that yesterday in the 15 minutes that KJ talked with Phil and Matt? A good chunk. You were going to see more. And they have to have success offensively. Tempo doesn't work, right? As good as Arkansas's offense was at time under Briles, what else were they good at? 3 and outs. I mean, it was like they were trying for 3 and outs sometimes. Yeah. It was either rolling or it was stopped in the middle of nowhere. And you just hope that they start clicking a little bit in Gainesville, they start rolling, and and they start doing that, there will be, again, 3 and outs, like you've seen with the slower offense this year. How much we see of that is going to be up to, again, KJ and Coach Guyton next week, next Saturday at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, but you got to be able to execute whatever you keep, because they're going to do some pruning of the playbook. They're going to limit this stuff. And, I wonder how much KJ's involved in these meetings. Coach has talked about these offensive staff meetings. Is KJ at the table? If he's not, he should be. There should be some conversation with KJ about, hey, what do you feel confident in? What do you want to run? What do what best suits I'm not saying he makes the final decisions, but he should certainly be involved in these conversations. And tempo is what he continued to kind of re-theme throughout that conversation yesterday.
Yeah. We got a text here on the McClarty Daniel hotline from Chris. Now, this is more a future look. Coach Guyton is calling the plays for now. He's taking over quarterbacks for now. Again, played at Ohio State, coached under Bryles, not just here, but elsewhere. Chris Corley is talking about this again. If Kenny Guyton is retained, or Coach Pitman is retained as well after this season, how difficult is it to go out and get an offensive coordinator knowing that this is the hottest seat that Sam Pittman's ever been under here at Arkansas?
You do the same thing you did with Dan Enos. Got a multi-year deal with some guarantees. If Sam gets fired, you get paid. That's the way that works. So coaches like longer term. Coaches like to know they got money coming in. They'll take less money to have longer terms, longer years. They'll take less money in 1 year to make sure that they've got guaranteed money. So, Dan Enos, he doesn't like being fired. He doesn't like the public shame and embarrassment. He doesn't like the performance his offense put on the field. But you know what he does like? $2-point-something million coming in that he doesn't have to worry about how he's going to take care of things at home for a while. So that's how you solve that problem, Ty. It's with a contract.
What do you think? If you want to call or text us on the McClarty Daniel hotline, you could do that at 877-377-6963. If you think about, again, the hires that were made in the offseason, Coach Pittman hit on a lot of them. Just didn't work out with Enos, right? Woodson, Williams, found a couple years. He's hired some good coaches here at Arkansas. This one just didn't work. So he has to nail the next one. Or if it works out in the next 4 games, how much percentage would you give Kenny Guyton to actually be retained and elevated to the offensive coordinator? Because what will happen is he'll go back to wide receivers coach if it doesn't work. He's not going to fire him or anything like that.
He already addressed that.
Yeah, he already said that. But, what percentage, as a former quarterback, as a 30-something-year-old,
32 or 3.
Yeah.
Probably.
What would you give him odds-wise to actually have success and stay as the OC and hired?
I don't know how you answer that. I think the better question, let me flip that. What has to happen the next 4 games for that situation to occur? Is it 4 wins? Is it 3 wins? Is it the offense to score a bunch of points? I think it's probably at least 3 wins and score a bunch of points. Rack up a bunch of yards, look like the offense you were intended to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how you put odds on that. But that's what has to happen in order for him to hang around. Brought to you by World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH is the number to call Ben and his team. They are a 30-year dish dealer, and Ben has been a premier dish dealer for all of those years because they know what they're doing. Local crews for installation, 3-year price guarantee, whole home DVR, HD in every room, movie channels for the first 90 days, included at no extra charge. Plus, they'll give you the multi-channel sports pack. 877-305-DISH for WOW, World of Wireless. More of the Morning Rush and your calls on the McClarty Daniel hotline are coming up.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here and hitthatline.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Jam-packed house here in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Hey hunters, it's time to get ready for black powder season at Jelco Outdoors. Muzzle loaders by CVA and Traditions. Be sure and check out the new Nitrofire rifles by Traditions. Primers, bullets, cleaning supplies, hunting boots and clothing, hunter's orange caps, vests and jackets, cover scents, deer lure attractants, ground blinds, tree stands, game processing equipment, warm clothing for cool fall mornings for men, women, and children. Good luck and stay safe from your friends at Jelco Outdoors. Remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where we are rolling out Rath Auto Relief. Now through midnight on Halloween, get up to $1,500 Rath cash when you purchase any one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Use it to pay your sales tax, get extra for your trade, or just take it right off the price. Plus, follow us on Facebook for fun-free giveaways every week. Rath Auto Relief, one more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown Bar District.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown Bar District.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Huh. Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front-row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, Tin Layer Dip, Brisket Nachos, and Mexican Pizza. And ask about Joe's Tailgate Packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning, Tommy, and I had a complete brain loss.
Jefferson gets the snap. He's going to throw over the middle into the end zone. Pass caught. Complete to Haz. They complete the two-point conversion. Haz with a touchdown reception. He catches the two-point conversion as well.
Don't miss Hog Reaction this fall, presented by Teague Law Firm and Signature Bank. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
For obvious reasons, for the first time all football season, we will not have that this Saturday. No game. We will have it next Saturday. Game is at 11 o'clock here Central Time, 12 o'clock in Gainesville. So Hog Reaction probably start about 3:30 or so, go till 5:30 about that. Excited to get back into it. Might have something to react to after this Purdue game on Saturday with this fat basketball team. They've already had one exhibition game. They've had the red-white game, but this is a massive exhibition game. Yeah. Is that a what's the word I'm looking for?
Overstatement?
Yeah. Is that an overstatement?
I mean, it's 2 top 15 teams. I mean, unless you got Duke playing Purdue or something like that, 2 top 5 teams. I don't know how you get. I mean, there may be. I mean, and it's not been that long. And we'll talk with Richard Davenport. It's not been that long they've allowed these kind of matchups to be scheduled because you could kind of pick one and you can have open door scrimmages and closed door scrimmages, and you can do one of these deals for charity. And that's what the option that Muss and Purdue took here. Matt Painter took going for this weekend. So, and that probably means Arkansas is going to be making a return trip to somewhere like this, like they did at Texas in the near future. Hey, we're brought to you by the Bobby Garland Baby Shad, made by Pradco right here in Arkansas. It's the #1 volume lure out of the 20 fishing brands. They make them by the millions in their Arkansas plant. It's without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the United States. Work it on a light jig head or underneath the float, and you'll find it to be as productive as live bait. Find the Bobby Garland Baby Shad at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. Again, that's the Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Daniel from Uniontown asked on the McCarty Daniel hotline, will it be televised? It will be on the radio. Our pregame coverage begins at 2:30. Chuck and Z, and then the game, of course, tips off at 3 o'clock and on the SEC Network Plus. So it's not an SEC Network linear, but if you pay for a subscription of any sort, again, you can get it on ESPN Plus or SEC Network Plus.
It's not on regular TV.
Yeah, it's not linear television. All right, let's welcome in.
Which means regular.
Okay, let's welcome in our guy.
I don't know that anyone knows what linear means other than us.
I got you. All right, let's welcome in our guy, Richard Davenport, again this morning on the McClarty Daniel hotline. Richard, to Tommy's just point about the exhibition games, I think, again, there's going to be a buzz around Fayetteville this weekend that you don't customarily have. Any idea if you could see some guys, whether it's football players or basketball players, that will unofficially visit this weekend just because of a decent marquee matchup at Bud Walton Arena?
Yeah, I could see basketball for sure. I'll probably be checking on that today or tomorrow, but especially with being a 3 p.m. tip-off, that helps kids be able to get to Fayetteville if they're from out of state at a reasonable time as far as getting up and making the trip. And you would think that would attract some guys in some form or fashion, no doubt.
Richard, Coach mentioned on Monday, Coach Pitman, talking about the different calls he had to make on Sunday, not just the call to let go of Dan Enos, but the calls to different recruits from maybe anyone's parents or anyone that you personally talked to. What has that been like, particularly on the offensive side of the football, with guys that are currently committed to Arkansas in future classes?
From what I gathered, I mean, that was just smart to do that. I mean, number one, you want to calm the nerves of the recruits and the commitments and let them know what's going on before it gets out there publicly. From what I can gather and talking to some people, he just basically reassured that the next OC would be somebody that fits their skill set and somebody that would kind of mirror his philosophy. So I think it was just a smart move, obviously, to kind of calm the nerves before anything went public.
Richard, who would be some good candidates on that list if Kenny Guyton is not the one next year and he's got a chance to maybe earn that job? Who would be some names that would be on your list to join Sam Pittman's staff next year?
Man, I'll be honest with you. I haven't even given it any thought. Honestly, I really haven't even given it much thought. It'd be somebody likes to RPO, 50-50 type offense. I mean, obviously, focus on the run. That would be a good question. I really haven't even thought about it.
Yeah, man. My guess is you'll be looking somewhere in the Saban Kirby tree, someone that's connected maybe to Kirby and into the history. And the good thing with Sam, he's been a lot of places. He talked about this the other day. He's made a lot of stops, done a lot of moving, so he knows a lot of people. So he'll have a connection to find what fits if he doesn't have it already in Kenny Guyton.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. It might even be a professional coach. Who knows? I mean, because you're right. I mean, he has so many connections through football in all levels. So, I mean, we may kind of think it'll be this type of person, but it could be somebody that could be a surprise.
Richard Davenport with us on the McCarty Daniel Hotline, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. RD, tell us about Kenny Guyton. You probably have a relationship more than we do to this extent. The recruits, what do they say about him, and what have you learned about the former Ohio State quarterback?
Well, a lot of times when you're talking about a younger assistant, that's something that recruits talk about. Is he's a younger guy that relates well with them, and I think KJ probably has maybe a comfort factor there in just the comments that he made, just because he's even though Dan Enos was a quarterback, I mean it was a different time, and Kenny's a little bit more recent quarterback, and still pretty young and can kind of relate to the guys. And it seems to be even though I don't necessarily agree with the youth movement totally. I think that's definitely necessary, but I think wisdom and older coaches are also a great asset to young men too. Just from a standpoint of just that they've been there and done that, and through life experiences, and they can kind of help them get through some things personally, and along with football wise too. But he's definitely a guy that kids relate to, and he makes them feel comfortable.
Richard, we know NIL is a big factor right now. Do you think it's more difficult for Arkansas to convince big donors after a bad season to go back to the well, to donate more? How do you think that relationship works in conjunction with particularly football recruiting?
I'm sure it doesn't help, but at the same time, you say, hey, we got to compete against, all these other schools that they're obviously, loading up NIL wise, and you can help us do that and get to where we want. And I mean, they're competitive right now, but I mean, Arkansas will never ever be able to compete, against Texas A&M, and larger schools with larger alumni and richer fan bases. I mean, Arkansas has got some pretty wealthy people, and there's a good amount of wealthy donors. But you can multiply that by 100 times or more, probably more in Texas with all the oil money and all the billionaires and millionaires. It's just going to be tough. It's just you can offer some good NIL opportunities. There's no doubt, but to be able to match what those schools can do, it's going to be tough sledding, man.
Richard Davenport with us here on the McClarty Daniel Hotline. We've been talking recruiting here with Richard this morning. We're down to the last couple of weeks, week 9 of the high school football season. A lot of the season finale rivalries and big games that will determine some playoff seeding coming up over the next 2 weeks. Anything stand out to you? I know a lot of people are talking about that Conway-Bryant game that's a week away. There's a couple of big matchups around the state. Give us some of the headlines that have caught your attention with high school football in our state.
Buck James. He's just a machine. He goes to Conway, and he's undefeated. He wins his 60th consecutive in-state game against Little Rock Central last week. What he did at Camden Fairview, what he did at Bryant is impressive, and he's just continuing at Conway. I mean, to me, that's the biggest thing, just how he can go from one school to another and instantly turn him into a state title contender. He's a very old school coach, very demanding, and a guy that I think it takes kids when he enters the program, a little bit of an adjustment. But once they see the results, they buy in, and I think you're seeing that with Conway. So I'll be honest with you, I'm just stunned at how he can just go from school to school and instantly just turn them into a powerhouse.
Pulaski Academy holds like a 60-some-odd game home winning streak. They host Greenwood this week in a huge game in the 6A West. Could set up a undefeated showdown in Week 10 with Little Rock Christian and Greenwood in South Sebastian County. That's an interesting game this Friday night. PA has not been on the same level they've played at in the past, but they're still right there behind Christian and Greenwood. That's an interesting matchup, RD, this Friday night in Central Arkansas. No doubt. I mean, two powerhouses. I mean, that game right there. It's most people have been to Pulaski Academy's stadium. It's always packed because it's pretty small. It will be. You're going to have people just surrounding the playing field. It's usually that way, but it's going to be that way even more so just because of this matchup. And then you got Kane Archer and his brother, and just the powerhouse that Greenwood brings to Central Arkansas. Then PA. They're usually throwing for 400 or 500 yards and 5-6 touchdowns. And so, you're right. That's a great matchup.
Last time I was at that field, I watched Hunter Henry go for like 3 touchdowns against my alma mater. It was pretty painful to watch. They won by like 50. So, Richard, we'll leave it there this morning, man. Appreciate you joining us as always, and we'll talk again next week, hopefully after a banner week for this Arkansas basketball team.
All right, guys. We'll see you. Have a great day.
Thanks, man. Speaking of high school, we've got our ESPN Arkansas High School Player of the Week. Want to congratulate Dalton Rice of Benville West, their quarterback. He won last week. This week's contestants are Amari Tucker of Southside, Matt Contreras of Hot Springs, and then Dax Goff of Boonville. So if you want to vote for any of these guys, they're in your area, go to hitthatline.com. It is our Shamrock Roofing ESPN Arkansas High School Player of the Week. Those are your contestants this week.
I think you can vote every hour, once an hour, every hour.
That's what Ruskin was doing for Dalton last week.
Yeah, you can stuff the ballot box. So we have seen some really interesting and close, tight races in this Player of the Week. So continue to do that. Have you looked at the weather forecast?
You said it was going to be cold next week.
Yeah, next week. I am loving the fall weather we're getting right now. Like daytime highs in the 70s and 80s, overnight lows in the 40s and 50s. Next week we're going to get highs in the 40s and 50s.
Your golfing's coming to an end, it sounds like.
It's terrible. But you know what? Fall camping season is here, and Razorback Camper Sales is ready. Not only do they have a huge selection of travel trailers, fifth wheels, and pop-ups, but Razorback Camper Sales offers full prep and setup at no extra cost. So when you leave their lot in Hot Springs, you can go camping immediately. They have a great parts and service department. Razorback Camper Sales is the oldest family-owned RV dealer in Arkansas, and they've been in business for more than 50 years. So find out why their customers are always happy campers. Razorback Camper Sales, exit 1 off of the bypass in Hot Springs, and always online at razorbackcampersales.com.
Hey, I've got some good news for everyone out there. How much would you say that y'all typically spend on Thanksgiving, Tommy, per year?
Oh, I have no idea because we divide. I'm sure it's, $150, $200. I have no idea because, everybody, hey, you're bringing the Jell-O salad and you're doing the turkey and you're doing, everybody has their favorite dishes they like to make. So I don't know, but I would guess it would be a couple $100 if it was all added up. I don't know.
In 2022, according to the American Farm Bureau, the average American family spent $64 on Thanksgiving. I know I got the text last week from my middle stepsister asking, "Hey, what does everyone want?" I said mashed potatoes and gravy. That's my favorite thing. So we're east. I don't want that. You can have it at the table. I'm not going to eat it. But that has been the question. This will be the first time ever that all 5 grandkids and all 5 siblings and mom and pops that are all together.
All under one roof.
All under one roof in
what
Northwest
could go
Arkansas.
wrong?
It's going to be a very interesting Thanksgiving. But I want to give credit to Wally World because on Wednesday, they said they're going to remove inflation this past Wednesday from Thanksgiving dinner. They're going to lower prices on customers' favorite brands. Aldi is doing that as well. beginning November the 1st, they're going to have 2 meal options, one ready to bake and one from scratch. And then Aldi is doing the same things. They're lowering their prices on more than 70 holiday food items. Walmart's is going through the 26th, so you get Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then Aldi through the end of the year. So both big grocery stores, which I shop at both, are lowering prices on Thanksgiving this year. I know that's, again, the holidays can be an expensive time for many. They're trying to at least make it a little cheaper than they usually do at this point. Average, again, American spends $64 on Thanksgiving for family.
I mean, no way at your house or my house, $64 is covering the whole spread.
No.
I mean, no way. What's the one thing? I mean, we're less than a month from Thanksgiving, and it is the best food holiday of the year. I don't care what anyone
25th.
says.
Is it the 26th?
It's the 23rd. I'm looking at the calendar.
Okay.
November 23rd is Thanksgiving. So, we're inside 30 days. What's the Big C? What's the one thing? If Grandma or Mom didn't make it this year, you're going to be really disappointed. What's the one thing you got to have on the table?
Ooh.
On Thanksgiving, beyond turkey or ham or something like that. I mean, like the sides, because those are what make the meal.
Green bean casserole is pretty good.
Yeah, we always have one of those.
I'm pretty basic. I like mashed potatoes and gravy and Sister Schubert rolls because I eat like a pan of them.
My wife makes this stuffing, and sometimes she'll make it in a pan and have me put it on the smoker, which is really good. But she makes it in a crock pot, and it's really good. It's not dry. It's really moist, and so her stuffing's way up there.
It is also National Greasy Foods Day, so I feel like there are some greasy foods they eat on Thanksgiving or after.
Not
Depends on how
so
you cook
greasy,
your turkey.
though.
You deep fry it or whatever.
But even a good deep fried turkey's not greasy. You had one? You had a deep fried turkey?
Yeah, we've done the smoked, deep fried, done Cajun. We've done different ones. I don't know what the plan is this year. Again, I just told them I'll make mashed potatoes and gravy with the kiddos and probably get my nieces and nephews throwing it at me, but that's part of it, I guess.
Good friend of mine, you are in the River Valley. You hear ads for Jody's Automotive Center. Jody Roop over there, he smokes turkeys every year at Thanksgiving. And my kids every year, if you don't have one of Jody's turkeys, there's going to be a problem.
Does Laura shop at Aldi or does she shop at Walmart? Or does she shop at, because we don't have a Kroger up here, the River Valley.
She generally shops
Harps.
at Walmart, but Aldi is on the list of places to go.
Okay.
The convenience of the online shopping and the pickup is
you don't like that because they pick out your steaks. I've heard you say that before.
First of all, we don't buy steaks there, so no.
I've heard you say that before, that like you don't like it because they pick out that you like.
No real man lets someone else pick the meat out. I got to go in there and look at it, lay hands on it.
Hog caller in Huntsville likes Aldi with 3 kids. It helps. Again, I spend $30 on groceries, and that covers me for the week.
You got to take your own bag, right?
You're a singleton.
Yeah, it helps. It helps.
You got to take a quarter to get a cart too. You know,
I'll get.
I don't have any problem with all. We go. You know, when we got time to go, they get some good stuff. Even some of that off-brand stuff's pretty good.
Yeah, they don't bag it. Like you have to actually.
But man, their checkers get with it. You get in that line, they. Boop, 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 boop. I mean, they do not waste time checking you out there. And you don't have to check yourself out. That's the other thing I like there. But I think that curbside pickup has won over at my house.
There you go. Well, it's kind of like the tempo you're
I like going to Sam's. I don't shop at Walmart or Aldi very often. When I buy stuff, I'm going to Sam's. I buy it in bulk, baby. Buy it in bulk.
Well, you got a family that eats out of house and home.
I need 27 pounds of pasta, please.
Get eaten. If Laura makes her homemade, I haven't had that in a while. If she wants to make that homemade pasta again, she could tell her feel free to do that.
Oh, that spaghetti sauce?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been a while.
Have her make a double batch, and then the next day or 3 days later, take the sauce that's then really, set and really the flavors come out and make lasagna. Do pasta, then do lasagna.
To Zach, we're making him hungry this morning. Eric and Greenwood texted on the McCarty Daniel hotline asking, what am I eating, ramen noodles? No, I'm smoothies, quesadillas. Smoothies for lunch, quesadillas for dinner. Ryan at Prairie Grove says there's underrated steaks at Aldi's. And Bart from Rogers says his wife is an assistant manager at the Rogers Aldi. So
there you go.
Go into the Rogers Aldi and say hi to Bart from Rogers' wife because she's in there from time to time. So you're talking about the checkup line, the speed.
Yep.
I think a lot of people are hoping to see more speed with this offense.
What a transition.
That's called a segue right there. And confidence is something that this offense has lacked from time to time. I don't lack any confidence when I hit the checkout line at either Walmart or Aldi. But KJ was speaking to that yesterday on halftime as they were at Armor Bank. Here's what he said about the confidence that they're hoping to get.
You have guys that's playing more confident now and not scared to make a mistake, and they want to be coached hard, and just being able to have a simplified playbook down to where guys can play faster. They don't have to think as much, and they're grasping the material quickly. And now when it's on the field, they know their keys, they know what they're looking at, and they can just be able to play faster and confident.
You know when you go to a restaurant and a drive-through, and there's certain ones that have just a select number of menu items, and you know exactly what you want every time, and it more often than not, it's successful and you're full and you like what you get. Then you go to other places and there's 50 bajillion things that you can order, and it takes you a while to like comprehend all that. I feel like that's what this was for the offense at times. They know what their bread and butter is. It's worked the last 2 years. Now it worked better 2 years ago. It still worked last year. But I wonder if
Is it the same bread and butter though as it was 2 years ago?
I think you will.
Did Enos change the bread and the butter?
I think if you see I would say if the offensive line was the butter, then the butter's not as good as it's necessarily been.
What are the bread and butter of the offense?
I just think it's RPO and less long developing pass plays. And they tried to do that a lot. The KJ was sacked a lot of times, and the receivers aren't getting open. There's just a bunch of stuff that went wrong this year through 8 games.
I think mentally they kind of gave up in their head. You mean maybe not physically, but it's like they were beat down.
RPO is either bread or butter, and the other one would have to be the run game when they could get protected. This year they just hadn't had the running lanes, but I mean the bread and butter should have been RPO game with KJ, and then you might say, well, their bread or butter is tempo. I could get on board with some of that too, but what this offense has missed, and some of it's the lack of a healthy Rocket Sanders. You've missed running backs being effective this year. I mean, we really just sat back and thought, hey, a 1,400, 1,500-yard Rocket Sanders is a guarantee. He's not a 100-yard Rocket Sanders right now. And that should have been bread or butter. RPO should have been the other. And if you want to say tempo, I'll get on board with some of that. And that's what's been missing completely, other than a few RPOs here and there from this offense.
Yeah, and Coach Pitman was honest on Monday. Guys, just because Enos is gone doesn't mean that they still have issues. Here's what he said about those.
With Dan not here anymore, that doesn't mean all our answers are solved. I mean, hell, we've got offensive line issues, back issues, running route issues, tight end issues. So Dan took the blunt of it on that, but we all haven't been coaching as well as we have in the past. We haven't.
Man, he's taking one for some of the play. I mean, the players got to play, too. You can talk about coaching. I don't believe for a minute they're not coaching them up to do the right things or they're not working hard. At some point it all has to come together. The players have to go out and execute the plays, too.
I think all those issues he mentioned was, due to Enos' system and the players not totally buying into it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I still think about that goal line pass on Saturday. Is that coaching? That coaching that the ball 3-hopped in there to Washington? No, that ain't.
When KJ rolled out, missed him. Yeah,
coaching. That's just players got to play and make plays. So, hey, this weekend the Hogs are off, but that doesn't mean that Art's Barbecue is not there for you. Every Saturday is a tailgate party at Art's Barbecue. They've added more TVs, got plenty of cold beer, and lots of new items on the menu. You can watch all the games there, including when the Hogs are back on November the 4th against Florida. They got the tailgate packs for 2, 4, or 8 people. You can dine in and enjoy those, or get them to go and take them home as well. Plus, try out the all-new smoked wings that are on the menu. 5 different flavors, $1 off all burgers, and endless fries when you dine in on Saturdays. Cold beer, plenty of TVs, and great barbecue. Art's Barbecue, burgers, and more. Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Hour 2 coming at you.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hog fan
fans. This is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The only Razorback store that is owned and operated locally by a family of U of A alumni.
And the Stadium Shop on Razorback is the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
That's right. Hang on, what?
Yeah, I said it's the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
That's what I thought you said, Dad.
Matt, don't egg him on. He's the reigning champion of his own conference.
Cool. Do I get a plaque or a trophy?
Anyway, folks, we have the largest selection of all things Razorback.
We do have pretty much everything a Razorback fan could want, from bedroom, tailgating, living room, hats, you name it, we got it.
You can give us a call at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486. Or come by and see us at 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville next to Baum Walker Stadium. Hey, Matt, you want to tell them about the interweb, Instagram,
sure thing,
Facebook
Dad.
thing?
I think he means the website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com. And it's Facebook, Instagram, and X.
What about Twitter?
You mean Twitter, not Tweeter.
And it's called X.
Wait, what? I'm so confused.
Yes, we know, dear.
Just remember, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Semaglutide and Teraziptide is a weight loss game changer. This is what the medical community is saying about the latest FDA-approved weight loss medication. Vici Aesthetics and Wellness is offering a detailed program to all of Arkansas and Missouri, in office or telemedicine visits available. To schedule your medical consultation and get started on the #1 prescription choice by medical providers for safe and effective weight loss, call or text 479-343-8424. 479-343-8424.
This is The Morning Rush.
Discover style that stands out with the 23 Buick Encore GX at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get special offers and financing as low as 1.9% on the 23 Buick Encore GX. Save $1,250 in special discount if you own a 09 or newer non-GM vehicle. Plus, get 1.9% financing. The 23 Buick Encore features crisp body line, streamlined stance, and dynamic styling. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Doe's Eat Place, serving award-winning steaks, has now added lobster tail and salmon to the menu. You can also enjoy delicious appetizers along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Call 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Hi, this is Melissa Vitale, owner of True Grit Running Company. Your young athlete deserves the best when it comes to footwear. After all, it's good to start early so they don't have problems in the future. We've got options for training, cross-country, gym class, and more. Our well-trained staff can guide your student athlete through our personalized fit process to help find that True Grit fit. And for our cross-country kids, we offer a 10% discount off of your total purchase. Visit our store in Fort Smith, located behind Chick-fil-A.
Flu vaccines, both regular and high dose for seniors, are now available at Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith. Call 452-6116 to schedule your shot appointment. Usually there is no cost when covered by your insurance. Law's Drug has COVID vaccines, RSV vaccines for ages 60 plus. Pneumonia and tetanus shots are also available. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Passion is something that exists in all of us.
I know we got a lot of passionate Hog fans listening right now. And I know that all of you love football season. Dave Bushkill and his team over at Eastside Liquor are the exact same way. They can take care of all your tailgating and party needs, whether it's just a few beers or alcohol in bulk. Stop by 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith to check off every item on your list. Eastside Liquor, your #1 stop for Arkansas football this season.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration wants to put a new roof on your home for free. Go to hitthatline.com and enter the free roof sweepstakes. Have you had recent wind or storm damage? Has your insurance company denied your roofing claim? Enter to win a free roof valued at up to $15,000 from Brothers Roofing and Restoration. Go to hitthatline.com and click on free roof. Deadline to enter is November 10th. Get a free roof on your home from Brothers Roofing and Restoration.
What are you Jimmy staring at? Back to work. Oh, work.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, mostly cloudy skies early with a chance of some showers to start. Then we should see an increase in the sunshine late in the day. High temperatures this afternoon into the upper 70s. We'll see a chance of a few overnight showers tonight, low to mid 60s, and a few showers, possibly a rumble of thunder or two on Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Fayetteville is 1,843 miles away, but the call of the Hogs can be heard all the way to San Francisco.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. KERX, Paris Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
Give the man a chance, see if he can right the ship, and I, for one, believe he can. I guess we're going to find out.
We had a bad offensive coordinator that didn't fit KJ. KJ needs to be in that RPO.
Really love to see offense step it up, play with some passion, play with some sense of urgency, play with some fire.
Has the offense been great? No. But at the same time, I think you also got to look at the level of competition you've been playing as well.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to the Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text the Morning Rush on the McClarty-Daniel hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
Yes, sir.
All right, it's hour number 2 of the Morning Rush on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. Feels like it's been a What's Your Beef Monday, a What's Your Beef Tuesday, but it's finally What's Your Beef Wednesday. You heard a bunch of callers there from yesterday giving their take on what's been going on the last few weeks. Not just the last few weeks, but really the majority of the season. We've got another caller on hold. We will get to him coming up, plus some more from KJ Jefferson, Sam Pitman, and even a little Eric Musman sprinkled in as we got a big game on Saturday in Bud Walton Arena.
Yeah, we talk about that weather cooling off next week, highs in the 40s and 50s across most of our listing area. That means it's hot tub season. And now is the perfect time to buy your perfect hot tub at Burton Pools and Spas during the warehouse sale. Have your own relaxation, your own family time, your own stress relief after a workout or a hard day at work. Burton's has you covered with the world's best-selling brands that are in stock, ready to deliver, and more important, they're on sale right now. Save up to $4,900 off. Easy financing payments starting as low as $80 a month with approved credit. So there's no reason to wait. Hurry to the hot tub warehouse sale. It's right now at Burton Pools and Spas, both sides of the tunnel, Springdale and in Fort Smith. They do more than sell hot tubs at Burton's. They build long-term relationships. Find them online at burtonpools.com.
Also, do want to congratulate a listener. For those that don't know, the Arizona Diamondbacks won last night. They beat Philadelphia in the city of brotherly love 4-2 as they advance to the World Series. So, Tommy, we got Arizona and the Rangers. I don't know how many people predicted that World Series that we'll have.
Well, let me give you the numbers. I've read this morning. The odds of a Arizona-Texas World Series were 1 in 1,750 going into the year. So I don't know how many people had that ticket somewhere, but you could have, for every dollar you bet, made $1,750. You would have predicted that matchup.
Matt's listening to Mountain Home this morning. He texted in, how about them Diamondbacks and all the naysayers out there that said they couldn't pull it off? Matt, congratulations. Your Diamondbacks have a chance to, again, play for the World Series title.
You see what Mad Dog Chris Russo said? Said he'd retire if Arizona he'd quit radio and retire if they made the World Series.
Probably
so
better.
There was a lot of things on Twitter congratulating him on his retirement.
He's past his prime anyway. He should have retired 5 years ago. That's the reality of his career.
Oh, spoken like a young guy.
All right, let's talk to, anyone that saw what he was then and what he is now. He's a figment of his own imagination at this point. He's nowhere near what he used to be, as was his partner, who is no longer on the airwaves, or at least on traditional airwaves.
About Francesa?
Yep. Oh, Mike and Mad Dog used to be the best radio show to ever exist. And now it's they're both again
debatable,
past their prime at that point. Jimmy's in Conway this morning. Jimmy, welcome into the Morning Rush, man.
Hey, who needs those guys? We got you, and I appreciate you guys. So I don't care for the Yankee humor, but anyway.
Well, thanks, buddy.
I've got an issue with a couple things I want to ask about. So part of the offensive issues. Satania has explosive ability. We've seen that in the punt return. They talk. We need to get him in the game plan. Haven't seen it.
They did last game a little more. I'll give them credit. They tried to give him the ball last game. That just nothing was working offensively.
But your point is correct, Jimmy, that Satania's been underutilized through 8 games this year.
What about A.J. Green? He's the most explosive back you've got. Fastest back. Breaks one for 70-something yards against BYU. And then it's just like they say, we're not going to give him very many carries now. He just ran for a touchdown. They want to play Dominion more, which he's a good back too, but I don't understand why look at the yardage. The number of carries compared to Dominion is
the averages
head
are
scratching.
Yeah,
makes you wonder why. Why don't they try him?
The reality is you need both of them, right? I mean, without Rocket Sanders, you need both of those guys. So, to your point, I think you've got some different skills in A.J. Green and Dominion, and then you've got some other guys there too, but that they really like. Gustav is another one, and but your point is valid, and the averages, because of some of those chunk plays with A.J. Green, pop off the stat sheet a little more than the other guys. I think we lost him.
I think he left this morning. So the deal with A.J. and Rashad Dominion's shiftier out of the backfield, and he's better. A.J.'s quicker straight line. You haven't had a chance to go straight line because there's not great blocking this year. Clay pointed that a week or so ago, and it made a lot of sense to me. Also, I mean, all you got to point. I mean, there's a play on this past Saturday. I think it's like a 3rd and 4. All AJ has to do is turn his head to the left, and he's got 10 yards in front of him. Instead, he just barrels into the hole and runs straight into the back of one of his offensive linemen, gets tackled short of the line to gain. So it's, guys, again, I know the offensive line has been a big issue, but Rashad Dominion and A.J. Green, as much as we thought there was quality depth, like rocket-level depth behind Rocket, there is a bigger drop-off than I think we realized with those two.
When you don't have a hole to run through or the hole closes quickly, you're not going to see what you think you should see with Rocket. And we just hadn't seen that. Rocket's participated in 2 games.
It's 2 games, yeah. He played in the first game and then not last game, but the game before.
Yeah, but it's been very limited. I bet the snaps, total number of snaps, are probably under 30 or something like that. I bet just hasn't seen much. But, blocking has been the number one issue, but it's not the only issue with this offense. And you point out what was noted on the TV broadcast last week. We saw Dominion trip over the 45-yard line. Turf Monster got him at Bama. I mean, things like that have happened. All of the issues have been spread around a little bit. I mean, and there have been 2 or 3 plays in each game where you look, well, what if they'd hit this hole? What if they hadn't tripped there? What if they keep their footing? And your running backs probably make a few more plays that maybe even help you win a game at Alabama.
Yep. That's where you're at right now. Again, just hoping for some push at this point. Dean Fort Smith texted he's played again in 3. He played against A&M. Did he play against Ole Miss? I know he played first game, A&M. I can't remember the other one. Maybe if there is at that point.
Point being, he has, but when he has played, it's been sparingly.
You think he plays in Gainesville?
I wouldn't even know how to answer that question.
Guess we'll hear.
We can guess.
So we'll hear.
My guess would be no.
We'll hear from Coach Pitman on the SEC teleconference at 10:40. He's not doing Sam Pittman live tonight because it's the bye week. I would guess his schedule will go back to normal since it's a game week next week, and we'll hear from him on Monday. Maybe we'll get an update. Maybe not. He'll
be asked today, and I don't know that he'll have an answer. I mean,
he gave an 8-second answer last time he was asked about it. So I would guess there's probably going to be about that same remark later on today. Maybe it's more extensive next week, and maybe he elaborates, but wouldn't bet on it.
It's a lot like the Nick Smith deal. He's out of the house getting rehab. He's been with the team, but he's getting rehab in Dallas on his knee. So we'll keep an eye on that. Brought to you by APAC Arcola. They have immediate openings in Boone, Marion, Baxter, Benton, and Washington counties right now. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, concrete finisher, diesel mechanic, or have experience paving asphalt or finishing concrete, they have a job for you right now. Top pay, great benefits, sign-on bonus, and more. Go to jobs.crh.com. That's jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola is an equal opportunity employer.
We'll get into our Morning Rush Daily Question when we return next.
Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
Hey, this is Hunter Yurtek, Director of Athletics at the University of Arkansas, and you're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
The Razorbacks have won it.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Let's see. Leaky faucet Tuesday. Water flooding the yard. Better put that down for the middle of the month when the bills aren't due.
Honey, what are you doing?
Planning our plumbing problems, of course.
You can't plan our plumbing problems, but you should plan our plumber.
What do you mean?
Like all important contacts, I keep Westark Plumbing in my phone. They're always there when we need them, and they don't overcharge since they know we don't plan our plumbing problems. Here, honey, here's their number.
646-5151. Thanks, babe.
Westark Plumbing. We keep you flowing.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where we are rolling out Rath Auto Relief. Now through midnight on Halloween, get up to $1,500 Rath cash when you purchase any one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Use it to pay your sales tax, get extra for your trade, or just take it right off the price. Plus, follow us on Facebook for fun-free giveaways every week. Rath Auto Relief, one more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Like beer.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
How do I drive more traffic to my website? How do I increase my Google rankings? If these are just a few of the questions you have for your business, then we should talk. In addition to sports radio marketing, ESPN Arkansas can help your business be found online. From website design to geo-targeted campaigns, search engine marketing, social media management, streaming video campaigns, and much more. ESPN Arkansas is your digital marketing partner. Go to espnarkansasdigital.com for your free digital marketing audit, or email us at sales@hitthatline.com to schedule an appointment.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. It's time for the Red River Dodge Morning Rush Daily Question. Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a recess. I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
The court will wait for an answer.
This is a question that you've probably gone over in your head following the firing of Dan Enos. How many games does Sam Pitman need to win this fall to keep his job? We kind of went over it a little bit yesterday. So you got 4 games left, right? Place you've never won before in Gainesville, Florida, Ben Hill Griffin Stadium at the Swamp next week. Then you got 3 home games. You got Auburn, you got FIU, and you got Missouri, who might be the surprise of the SEC this year. Drinkwitz is going to win Coach of the Year unless his season just gets the rug pulled out from under him. How many games does Sam Pitman have to win for him to be on solid footing, no questions asked? He's got a 5th year to coach here in Fayetteville.
Depends on how they look in winning those games and losing the games. I don't think he has to win all 4. I think maybe ending up with 4 wins, maybe go 2-2 down the stretch if you look good. I don't think there's a lot of scenarios where Sam Pitman loses his job, honestly. Maybe if you go 0-4 and look terrible in all of them, that might be on the table. But I don't think the number is 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 4 if that's what you're looking for.
I mean, there's 5 different scenarios that could play out, right, in terms of the wins and losses. You could win the next 5 because you win 4 and then go to a bowl game.
Okay.
You could win 4 and lose 1 and be 6-7. You can win 3 of 1, 2 of 1, or 1 of 1. I guess 5 scenarios. So
now you've confused me.
Yeah, what I kind of said yesterday was don't put yourself in a situation where Hunter Yurchek even has to think about it, right? Where donors, big-time money people are like, hey, there's got to be a change that's made. Don't put yourself in that situation. I think if you win 2, you're fine. If you win 1, though, that's teetering because that 1's only going to be FIU. You're going to tell fans 0-8 SEC season, which I said it yesterday or Monday. I'll say it again. That is at least in the talking point and area of a Chad Morris type of year if you go 0-8 in this league. I don't care how you lose.
Why is it not a Brett Bielema kind of year then?
You could say that as well because he went 0 in his final year. Fired on the.
But it's more similar to Bielema than Morris. Morris wasn't competitive. Bielema was competitive. And listen,
that's fair.
We're no one wants to be comparing 0-8 years. All right. So, but this isn't there, and I'll push back as hard as Chuck did. There is not a comparison between what Chad Morris had going on and what is going on here.
There isn't now. But if they go 1-3 or 0-4, there is.
Only with the record, but not with the product.
The product's at the end of the cake,
Dude,
man.
North Texas was punking you out. That's not what's happening here. You played top 15 teams within 1 possession. Chad Morris couldn't sniff. We're just
at
different things.
We're just at a point where we're going to agree because I look at, again, the end result, and the end result would be an 0-8 season. I think
there's a variation of the end result.
What you said there is it would be more like Bielema than Morris. I will agree with that.
It'd be more like running a business. Did you lose $10,000 on the bottom line at the end of the year on your P&L or $500,000? Chad Morris lost $5 million. All right? There's a difference in losing. Hey,
not $10 million.
I mean, there is a difference in how you go about it. And maybe that's not the best analogy, but is there a difference in a business that barely is in the red versus a business that's millions of dollars in the red? Of course there is. If you have 1 year in your business and you lose $200,000 and the next year you lose, $20,000, those aren't the same years. That's how I see this thing. Yeah, the record stinks. We're not arguing that, but there's a total difference between what is happening now, this year, and the level of competitiveness and at least having a respectable product to a great. I mean, what's being lost in all of this conversation is how great the defense and special teams have been. That gets lost in all of this because the record is so putrid.
Jacob Magazine says, I think we need to go at least 5-7 for him to stay. And Mike in Bentonville asked the question, what makes you think that they won't go 0-8 next year? But if we keep it close, woohoo! I think that's directed at you.
That's fine. But there is a difference. The point I'm making is you're saying this is Chad Morris stuff. Well, that's just nonsense, because go look at those games. You weren't even in games against non-conference competition.
I just don't. Here's where I'm coming from.
Club dub. All that BS.
Here's where I'm coming from. I don't want the athletics department to think it's okay to convince the fan base that Arkansas should just be in games. We should be winning. We should be winning games. But by your account and where you're coming from, and there is, again, I will agree with you. I have relented to the idea that would be an 0-8 SEC season, would be closer to Bielema to that.
Yeah, because that's how Bielema went about it. We're close. We're close. I get being close stinks, but I draw objection to your comparison, not necessarily the sentiment of the record is unacceptable. I agree the record is unacceptable, but the route to get there is not the same as the way Chad Morris did it.
Here's what's got to happen in these next 5 weeks. I need to see the motivated Sam Pitman, the same one out of high school. I need that dog, coach. I need that kid that got told he wasn't good enough to go play at Arkansas, goes to Pitt State's an all-conference and all-American, and then goes on to have a successful coaching venture and a bunch of different pit stops to that point. That's what you need in these next 5 weeks. We don't need more coaching gaffes. We don't need a John L. Smith comparison where you say, I don't know, I don't have answers. We need you to come up big in these next 5 weeks. I don't want to sit here at the end of the season talking about a 3-9 or 2-10 football team and you being on the brink of you losing your job. I take no fun, no pride, no pleasure in doing that. Don't force me into that situation where I have to be in this seat in 5 weeks talking about potentially transition in football coach. You've got to find something these next 5 weeks. You might not be listening, but I know you got someone listening over there in the athletics department. Relay the message, whoever that is. No one likes doing this. No one likes getting on it, man, outside of maybe Derek. No one likes getting on these airwaves and taking pride in a crappy football team.
I don't think
no
Derek
one likes
does
doing
either.
that at all. So give us something. Give us hope. Give us something to believe in these next 5 weeks to know that you are the guy that can take us not only out of the abyss like you've done, but you actually can take us to a football team that we are proud of. We're not proud of this football team this year.
You need Sam to win 2 or 3 of these next 4, so this isn't even a conversation. And I'm not talking about financially with what I'm getting ready to say, but you can't afford to make another change. And it's not about the money. It's about the stability of your program. It's about the direction you're going. Again, and it's been said a lot the last couple of weeks, you can't fire your way out of this problem. I agree with that. I mean, Sam needs to do enough to keep his job where it's not even a conversation because this program on many, many levels cannot afford another change. Over the last 12 years, there's been way too much change since Petrino.
It's obvious the defense is playing for Sam and their defensive coordinator and all that, but somewhere along the way, the offense, I don't know if they just stopped playing for Pitman or what it was, but he's obviously got to get more involved.
The offense maybe stopped playing for Enos, but I mean, there's no quit in this team. I mean, again, I go back, look at the defense, look at the way the other 2 phases of this team have played. It's not embarrassing. You're talking about Chad Morris. That entire operation was embarrassing. There was nothing about from special teams, offense. The whole thing was an embarrassment. That's not what's going on here. This isn't embarrassing.
What did he do? What did he do on Monday? You
got the wrong rhythm there. No, he's talking about their body language and coming on the field and warming up. That he said, just bum 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 bum. That's what he's talking about. They were just kind of going through the motions, and he said he knew by the way they warmed up that offense that they didn't have the juice, the energy. That's what he was talking about.
Yeah, that tells me they were not bought in.
Well, okay,
but who were they not bought into?
Obviously, Enos, but it goes to Pitman as well because he's their head coach.
That's fine. Okay,
the buck stops with him. You're right.
The blame has been placed with Enos. If they don't perform the next 4 games, if there's no improvement, if there's no life, then that blame gets placed at the feet of KJ and Sam Pitman. Okay? That's where you're at right now. I am hoping to God that we do not have to sit here in 5 weeks and talk about how the offense either took a step backward or stayed the same. But you got to show us something in the next 5 weeks. Again, that's your Morning Rush Daily question. How many games does Sam Pitman need to win to keep his job? And it is presented by Red River Dodge.
Red River Dodge is in Heber Springs. They are Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com.
All right, let's go down south to El Dorado, home of Murphy USA and Mystic Creek, where our friend Alan is waiting.
And the El Dorado who?
Wildcats.
There you go.
From now on, every person that calls in, we're going to try and list off the mascots of that hometown. I think Tommy and I are starting to get a little bit of a rapport of that. Alan, what's going on, man?
Hey, good morning, fellas. I listen to y'all almost every morning. Listen to other sports shows in the afternoons and listen to Sam Pittman's press conferences. You know, a lot of opinions, but there's a lot of things wrong. A lot of things have to come together to have a good football team. But Dan Enos and his offense is just not a good fit for the style of players I think that were at Fayetteville, that are at Fayetteville. And the key point here, though, that I wanted to make is when Coach Pittman had his press conference Monday, he mentioned 28 pocket passes, and that they had worked on other things that doesn't get done during the games. And look, it's simple. If they work on things and your boss tells you to do that, they got headsets on. You know, that does come back on Coach Pittman. And if Dan Enos isn't running the plays you want ran during the game, you fix that during that game, or you tell Enos to go drop his headset and sit on the bus until the game's over. But overall, I just don't think the style offense Enos runs is a strength of our players. I appreciate y'all taking the call, and have a good morning.
Thanks, Alan. All right, so let's go back to, again, what Coach said Monday.
We did it in practice. We just didn't do it.
Was there a holdup? They're just not.
We didn't do it. I mean, we practiced it. We didn't do it. So I don't know what to say about that.
That's him talking about rolling the pocket, what Alan just referred to this point. I would guess, based on Sam's comments, based on what's been said lately, that Kenny Guyton is going to call a lot of plays outside the pocket next week.
He's going to have some directives.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think, again.
So, hey, do you think Enos is a bad coach?
His track record would say he's not a great coach, but he's not a bad coach. He's middle of the pack.
Okay, fair. So you know, where was the disconnect on a personal basis? Why? Because what I hear Sam describing is just a stubborn employee, a stubborn coordinator that was going to do it. We're going to win or lose my way, instead of what was best for the talent, what was being directed to you by your head coach. Why would you spend time in practice on something now? Maybe Dan Enos, people sitting here and say, well, because we practiced rolling out of the pocket, we couldn't execute it. You know, maybe there was things in practice he saw. I don't know. But clearly, whatever you were doing during the game, you know, the scoreboard indicates that was not working. The stat sheet indicates it did not work. So, you know, something out, and that's the problem with this time of the year. How much practice time do you really have? I mean, effective practice time on the field to try things. It's very limited at this time of the year. And you're only out there doing stuff, you know, a couple days a week now at this point, because it's already supposed to be polished and put in.
Yeah. And I will say this about Dan Enos. So Sam Pittman brings him in, again, as more of a pro-style NFL trying to ready. He's trying to help KJ.
That was the goal this year, to get him to be an NFL quarterback.
And it didn't work. And now he's trying to, it seemed like, with Kenny Guyton's tutelage under
didn't work quick
Ken
enough.
O'Brien.
Should have been just to win games, because KJ's done okay in the system he was in. We were talking about KJ for Heisman and all this stuff before the season. So I don't know why they tried to mix it up and make it all, you know.
So whose offense did Dan Enos run at Alabama? Whose terminology was used then? Because Saban's had, you know, been clear, hey, when we've hired coordinators, we bring them the playbook, and it's your job to learn this playbook. That obviously is not what happened at Arkansas, and I think there's a lesson to be learned in all of this that, hey, it's your job as a coach to match up your plays, your schemes, your personnel grouping to best fit the talent you've got. Not what, hey, this is the way I've always done it. Sounds to me like they were trying to jam a square peg in the round hole, and it just finally, something had to be done.
But if he's had success elsewhere, which he has at certain pit stops, this is still a coach's league. College football is still a coach's league.
I think
the players,
it's changing, though,
yeah,
Ty. With NIL, that's changing.
There's true, but there's still, there still needs to be a respect and an understanding of the coach. Like, there should be more acclamation from the player to coach than there should be from the coach to player, right? It shouldn't go the opposite.
But
correct?
You've made, and I don't disagree, your job's to win games, right?
Uh-huh.
If we call more tempo plays and more RPOs, and that gives this group of players who you didn't recruit all of them, and you don't have time to go recruit players to fit your style, don't you call the plays that fits the talent you have? That's just common sense to me. And I think that's what Sam's talking about. We in the end, we were trying to make the players mold and fit the system because there was, I guess, some thought this would make KJ more pro-ready. It would fit Dan for the future, but it is more of a pro-style offense. That does not fit the talent you got. On top of that, you had inexperienced tackles. The veteran linemen in the middle weren't as good as you were hoping they would end up being. You had a surprise at tight end with Luke Haas, who was better than you probably thought he'd be. Then he gets injured. Your 1,500-yard back or 14-plus in Rocket Sanders, never really fully available. The answer to all of these problems is not just, Dan Enos doesn't know what he's doing.
I think
there's a lot of things going on here.
I think if they knew their O-line would be play as poor as it has before the season, if they knew it would be that bad, I'm sure they would have done something different.
They thought they could coach their way out of it, would be my guess. They thought, we'll get the players, give us a little time, maybe a little slower start. We saw that in the first 2 games. We just need more time, and the clock ran out on Dan Enos and this offense.
All right, back to the McClarty-Daniel hotline. Tommy, is Caddo Gap and Caddo Hills the same? Are they the same thing? Caddo Hills High
Down there by
Norman.
Down, by Mount Ida, then you go to Norman, you hang a left, and you head to it's Caddo Hills High School, and that is near Caddo Gap.
He said they do have a basketball team.
Do you know their? Yeah, they do not have football. Do you know their mascot?
The Indians.
There
right?
you go.
Okay.
You got it.
That's where. Is it Strange or Strain?
Strang, like a string with a country accent.
That's where Strain is this morning. Good morning, Strang.
Good morning, everybody. And you're right. Caddo Hills Indians. At one time, they was pretty dominant in the 2A basketball.
I drive by that old gym going to Arkadelphia. That looks like a place that it can get a little wild on a Friday night.
It gets a little wild. It'd be packed. We'd love high school basketball. Purdue's point guard, I can't remember his name, but his mother played on the state championship team at Caddo Hill. She's a local girl here named Jenny Moore, and she was one of the best, bar none, little basketball players that ever come out of this little area.
Now, I'd be lying if I'm going to be honest. I haven't looked too much in depth outside of Zach Edey and Matt Painter. Painter's their coach, Strang, and Zach Edey's the player of the year from last year and whatnot. But you're saying their starting point guard's mom is from where you're at?
Yes, her name was Jenny Moore, and she's local. And that boy's great grandpa and grandmother is going to be able to make his ball game. Probably the only time they'll get to see him play. And they've not probably been out of Montgomery County in 20 years, so they're going to be in for quite a little treat, I'm sure.
I'm assuming that's her maiden name, right? Moore? You don't have you don't know, probably, you probably don't know her real name, do you?
I forgot. I'm not very good with names, but anyway, it's going to be a big deal. And he wanted to be a Razorback, but he didn't make it. I hope he had a great game for his grandparents and his mother and everybody, but I sure hope the Hogs beat them.
Braden Smith is who JT in Hot Springs says you're asking about. Okay. Braden Smith of Purdue.
Well, Strain, thanks for sharing that connection this morning. Tommy, myself, Big C, and our listeners did not know about it, but now we have new knowledge on the situation.
I want to give a shout-out to my little local Murfreesboro Rattlers football team at 7-0. And my nephew plays linebacker, Noah Cox, been averaging about 10, 15 tackles a game.
Heck yeah.
Go Rattlers. Go Hogs. Y'all do a good job. Good morning, Razorback fans.
There you go.
Thank you, Strain. Yeah, I did know now is Murfreesboro Diamonds, right?
That's where the diamond.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where you
The
go.
Diamond. I've done
dig
that.
for the
I've
diamond.
done that one
So,
time with my pops back in the day. Well, I did get some news from Eric Musselman yesterday. Apparently, they're close to selling out.
Right now, I think we're at 14,000 seats that are sold. That's not counting the 3,000 seats that'll be held for the student body. That's going to be really, really good for their team, too, to play in front of a good crowd as well.
So you're at 17 of
Need to sell 2,000 tickets more.
Yeah, 2,200. Can they get that? I mean, tickets online right now are $15 plus a $3 fee. Upper decks.
They may sell them all. They won't. I don't think they'll fill the building.
They'll fill them?
No. Even, I mean, because and here's why I say that. Last year when they played Kentucky, last year when they played Alabama, I was in the building for those games. It wasn't full for those games. I don't think it's going to be full for an exhibition game.
I will say, to those points, two great teams that you welcomed in there. Team was just mid in the regular season. I mean, you were just okay. You weren't that good. When did they finish in the SEC? Didn't they finish like
6th, wasn't it?
Yeah. This team, I think the expectation is they're going to be even better than last year's team.
My point is, when you get down to the place where my choice is to watch on my TV at my house or sit in the upper deck corner, the TV at my house is sounding pretty good. And that's what ends up not happening is the upper deck corners and the end zone top 2 or 3 rows don't get filled.
It's, I think the only change, Tommy, for that, and I would probably, if you look at the schedule, you got some great home games. You got Tennessee coming in here. You got Kentucky coming in here. Duke might be the only game on the schedule that you just want to be in the building. Heck, you might fabricate a ticket to just get in the building.
They're electronic. I don't know how you're going to do that
I'm
now.
not advocating for that. Well, I'm just saying they're not.
Well, you're planting seeds. What are you doing?
Listen, I would never, ever.
Criminal activity coming out of your mouth.
Advocate for this, but I'm just saying security isn't exactly tight all time at Razorback.
There's no
events.
paper tickets. How are you going to pull that off?
I mean, I walked in the other day without even.
Oh, but you're Ty Richardson, sir. They know who you are. Right this way. Velvet ropes. Move to the left, everybody. Ty Richardson
It's almost
coming
like
through.
they did the security and then they didn't even look at the ticket. So as long as I didn't have anything on me, I was.
Yeah, but you don't go like a commoner like me and Big C do. I mean, we have to stand in line, go, wait on our hot dog and popcorn. We don't, they don't move us to the front of the line like a celebrity of your stature.
I don't think that of anyone on this program, I think I had the lowest, or on this station, probably the lowest.
Me and Big C have to wait in the back of the line.
Yeah.
You're just hoping you'll feed us cake, throw some cake down, to us.
What kind?
Yeah, chocolate.
Chocolate's cool. Okay, that's some of the news. We've got some other stuff we'll share from Eric Musselman this week. They had that press conference a little early. Did it yesterday. Heard from him, Tremont Mark, and then also Chandler Lawson as well.
They'll fill up. I mean, they'll sell out the tickets. I have no doubt. Some donor, some booster will, particularly at this price at $15, will buy the last so they can claim it a sellout, and the money goes to charity. But I don't think you'll have 19,000 in the house.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know I think the biggest takeaway so far this morning is the Murfreesboro Rattlers are 7-0.
There you go.
That's my biggest takeaway this morning. Congrats to them.
Yeah.
Hopefully they have a.
Thank you, Randy.
What division? What division did they play in, Tommy?
I'm gonna guess 2A or 3A.
Okay, it's a lower one. Well, go Rattlers. Keep it going, boys.
There you go. So, all right, we got plenty to get around to, including our hog update that's on the way. And Clay is coming up in about 20 minutes here on the show. We are brought to you by Gaston's White River Resort. Their number is 870-431-5202. And now's a great time to slip off and get to Gaston's. Weather's getting ready to change. Those big browns and rainbows are getting ready to come down, and kind of that pre-spawn. We talked about that yesterday. November and December are good months to fish, and then February becomes another great month up there. Now's a good time to make those reservations, get one of their expert guides that fish the river every day, understand where every rock, all the nooks and crannies are on that river to take care of you are at. And that's the one thing I love about Gaston's. The other thing is and Ty and I have been there. We've stayed there. All of their cabins are private, so, I mean, it's not a hotel set up. There's not a room next door. There's no one, like Ty that's playing his loud rock and roll music till 3 in the morning. Yeah. Don't have to worry about that. You got a fireplace. That's the thing I love. Go up there, build a big fire in that fireplace, get some football on the TV at night or whatever.
Let me jump in the river last time.
I should have. Clay held you back, but I should have let you go. So, I mean, this is a great getaway. Whether it's a guy's trip, I was talking to some guys last week at Lululemon who took a bachelor trip to Gaston's White River Resort. So, or it's just a family getaway or a couple's weekend, Gaston's is the place. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
Shop local, eat local, be local.
This is former Razorback Kanoy Kennedy, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. If you're going to do some cold water bass fishing, you need to be using a Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. It's the best lure for duplicating a small school of shad and can be worked from the top of the water column.
Video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McClarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McClarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McClarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Rockwell and Orwell are both known for their work from 1984. It's no conspiracy that somebody's watching me, because the terms and agreements that no one reads is the reason there's no privacy. Big tech is tracking every move you make and is starting to control society and how you participate. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and Revelation 13 describes a mark for those who fall for this utopian dream. I'm Pastor Eve from Woodland. Read about it.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.
Looking for an African adventure without the hassle of planning? Kruger Safari Club has got you covered. Our custom hunting and safari packages take care of everything from transportation to accommodations, so you can focus on enjoying the experience of a lifetime. With our team's extensive knowledge of the best hunting and safari spots in South Africa, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe, you'll have access to some of the most breathtaking views and exciting game hunting opportunities on the planet. And with our commitment to ethical hunting and giving back to the local community, you'll know that your trip with us is making a positive impact. Book your trip now and let us take care of the rest. Find out more at KrugerSafariClub.com.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business, on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas Razorbacks in our championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Had a chance to hear from KJ Jefferson yesterday on halftime. Appreciate our friends at Armor Bay getting that set up and together. And I know a lot of you are wondering, hey, what's the dynamic look like between Coach Guyton and the offense? Here's what KJ said.
He came in, we brought the whole offense up as a unit meeting, and he basically broke down his two things that he was focusing on moving forward as an offense, and that's enthusiasm, just being able to have fun and be passionate, and also accountability. Everybody taking accountable for their mistakes. If somebody mess up, we had to be able to get on and pinpoint it right then and there and not letting it just blow by and turning that small problem to a big problem and just trying to nip it in the bud right then and there.
That's at least the goal for next week and the rest of the season through 4 games. Now, again, that's KJ talking about Coach Guyton. Now, Coach Pitman was talking about on Monday why it didn't work out with Dan Enos. Here's what he said in regards to that.
I think a lot of coaching has to do with enthusiasm, spirit, wanting to run through a wall for different people. And we just really never had that on the offensive side of the ball. If you look at it defensively, there's a lot of that there. I think you can get guys to play better than maybe even what their talents are if they believe in you. It was just rough. Our kids weren't as motivated, and that can go on me as well. Our kids weren't as motivated to play as what I have seen in the past. I mean, you could tell the way we took the field on Saturday that it was like, and I can remember being on the headset going, what are we doing?
Is Sam Pittman missing Barry Odom?
100%, yeah.
I mean, not just because he was a former head coach, but professionally, personally, we heard about the walks. I mean, I think these are problems that he doesn't have a sounding board for the way he did before. And, we talk about, he needs a former head coach in there. I think there's truth in that. And I think this is, and I'm reading into things. Only Sam Pittman could answer this directly. And I bet if you ask him, he'd tell you because he's pretty honest. I think we're seeing the signs of, hey, this is still a fairly new head coach. Yeah. He's not new to college football. And it's not necessarily he needs someone that's been a head coach before. It's not like Barry Odom had 20 years of being a head coach. I think it's just that trusted sounding board, someone that you can feel very comfortable saying, hey, here's what I'm in doubt about and help me talk through it, work through it. I think he's missing that. He doesn't have someone on the staff, I'm guessing, that has filled that role yet for him.
Yeah, and I mean, Barry Odom was here, 2 years and 2 or 3 years, and you would think Pittman would have picked up some of that, but I guess that's even in a coaching career, that's not very long. So
the problems changed on him this year, Big C. I mean, the problems he was dealing with last year or the issues he needed to work through last year aren't the same as this year. Mm-hmm. And right. I think every leader needs someone. It gets lonely in leadership. It gets lonely at the top. You don't have people to talk to about everything. It does. So I mean, I think Sam Pittman probably is looking for that ear he can bend.
Is that why you don't get lonely? Because you got me and Chuck as I plop my feet up on the table?
Yeah.
You can always talk to us.
Put your foot down.
Big C.
Put your foot down right now.
All right, last thing in your Hog Update before we talk to Peyton, who's in Clinton, Arkansas this morning. I know they've got a nice gymnasium, but you're going to have to help me on the mascot of Clinton.
The Yellow Jackets.
The Yellow Jackets. I knew it was yellow. I just couldn't think of what it was. All right,
you are so full of it.
He's going to have to call back.
Did he not? Peyton, call back, buddy. He just hung up on us. We'll get to you, I promise. All right, there are 10. So the NBA started last night. There's 10 Pro Hogs in the league currently on NBA rosters.
Okay.
Can you name any / where they're playing or all 10? Can you get to how many of these can you name?
Well, Jalen and Isaiah are in Oklahoma City.
That's 2. I'll give you guys both.
Ooh.
Nick Smith's with the Warriors, right?
Hornets,
right? Yeah, Charlotte.
Moses
Moody's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's
Bobby
4.
Portis.
Bobby Portis.
Where's he at?
Milwaukee.
Okay, that's 5. You're at halfway.
Where's the kid from El Dorado, big kid in the middle? Gafford, Daniel Gafford.
Yeah.
Is he with Washington still?
That's correct. That's 6.
With the Bullets? Not the Bullets. What are they now? They were the Bullets.
The Wizards.
The Wizards, yeah.
I think that was an old ABA team. You're at 6.
I'm thinking
60% there.
Oh, Anthony Black.
Where's AB playing?
Magic.
Yep.
7.
7.
We're missing some older players.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Older.
Actually younger. You're missing one older player and 2
Oh,
younger.
Ricky Council.
He's not on NBA roster.
He's not.
No.
Okay.
You got 2 younger players and 1 older player. Who's probably the biggest trash talker of any of them? Oh, loves to get into it with every player. Guy was a stud freshman here. Eventually kicked off the team.
Really?
He was asked. I say he was asked. He was suspended for a year.
Patrick Beverly.
There you go.
Okay.
He was with Houston. Now I've lost track of where he's
City
at.
of Brotherly Love. He's in
Philly.
Philly.
Okay.
You got 2 young guys. One just signed a 2-way contract. Who just signed a 2-way contract that I brought up yesterday?
Where's Walsh at?
Oh, yeah, Walsh.
There you go. Where's he at?
Boston.
Boston, that's 9. Right. And then I'll give the last one. Says you got 9.
Yeah.
Stanley Mude just signed a 2-way contract with the Pistons. So again, 10 Razorbacks, one of only 10 double-digit one of only 10 teams with double-digit players in the NBA. Arkansas is in a very good select company right now. Kentucky's got like 26, but Arkansas is closer to a bunch of them at that point. That is going to do it for your Hog Update this morning. Brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, I got a really funny beef on the Feinbaum show, and it features one of our callers, actually.
Really?
I think it's Dixie Lynn in Hot Springs that calls in. She goes by Terry in the video, which doesn't make sense, but listen to this interaction between Mary Jo, who's a Missouri fan, and then the beef that Dixie Lynn has as an Arkansas fan.
Hello, Mary Jo.
Hi, Paul. I want you to start seeing Coach Eli Drinkwitz as a young Coach Nick Saban. He's doing some of the same things, Paul, and he's succeeding. And we have 100% trust in our coach, Drink. And I just think we're doing great, and we're all excited. And Saturday was a Chamber of Commerce Day in Como.
Mary Jo, thank you very much. Really nice of you to join us. Eli Drinkwitz, the young Nick Saban.
Yeah, she's drinking.
Terry is in Arkansas.
Yeah, I don't know what that woman from Missouri smoking. She thinks that about him because they're going to be thinking different when the Razorbacks roll in there and pound the snot out of them later in the season because we're fixing to get it all going and we're going to win out and go to a bowl game.
First off, they're coming here. They're coming here.
Yeah, that's kind of a key
Second
thing.
off, that'd be awesome.
That's like a misspelled word in a tweet, in a sharply worded tweet. You got to get your pronunciations right, and your tenses right, and your words spelled right.
Home stadium, but that is
she obviously believes that we're going to turn it around.
There.
She's believing. I hope.
So she got some aliases? Because what was the name she went by there?
Terry,
but she calls our show and goes by Dixie
She says
Lynn.
Dixie Lynn every time.
I think she follows me on social media, and I think her name is Dixie Lynn on social media. So I would guess that that's her actual name. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's another alias.
I agree with her sentiments, though. So.
That Arkansas is going to roll into.
We're not going to roll into anywhere. They're going to roll into here.
That'd be nice. Yeah. That would be real nice.
That's the best team you got left on the schedule. I mean, it's not. I don't even think it's an argument.
She just said what we're all thinking in the back of our hoping in the back of our mind that happens.
I want to get there. I want to feel the same way she does. I'm just not going to feel that way until I see some level of competency on offense starting.
I want
next
some of what that
Gamble.
lady in Missouri's been taking. That's what I want.
Drinkwitz is a young Nick Saban.
It clearly alters your perception of reality.
Apparently so, but that is I love back and forth fan battles, and that was a small one right there between a Missouri fan and an Arkansas fan.
Make me call in right now to Feinbaum. Us being 2-6.
Drink's a great coach. I mean, his record's not bad.
He's done a good job there.
Nick Saban?
Yeah.
No, we're not going there. All right, brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Top brands like Grand Design, Forest River, now Brinkley part of the lineup. Always a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. And Chris and Lee J vow this to you. There never will be hidden fees or tacked on stuff at the end that was never talked about and negotiated before. You're not going to get document prep fees or all these things that really add nothing but expense to you. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hour 3 coming up. The Hall of Famer Clay Henry joins us next.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Equip yourself with the best deals of the year during New Holland's Value Bonanza, going on now at WT Equipment. Get 0% financing for 60 months, or choose big and cash back on select mid-range tractors, including Workmaster Utility, Power Star, and T5 and T6 models. Whatever the task, these tractors get work done. Work smarter and save big with incredible deals during New Holland's Value Bonanza at WT Equipment. Hurry, offer ends December 31st. For commercial use only. Customer participation subject to credit qualification and C&H Industrial Capital LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply. Down payment may be required.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV. Semaglutide and Teraziptide is a weight loss game changer. This is what the medical community is saying about the latest FDA-approved weight loss medication. Vici Aesthetics and Wellness is offering a detailed program to all of Arkansas and Missouri, in office or telemedicine visits available. To schedule your medical consultation and get started on the #1 prescription choice by medical providers for safe and effective weight loss, call or text 479-343-8424. 479-343-8424.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where we are rolling out Rath Auto Relief. Now through midnight on Halloween, get up to $1,500 Rath cash when you purchase any one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Use it to pay your sales tax. Get extra taken right off the price. Plus, follow us on Facebook for fun-free giveaways every week. Rath Auto Relief. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Sunday morning. You can smell it. Game day. And the brisket you've been smoking since last night. A day to be with family, aka fellow football fans. Traditions make Sundays easy to enjoy. Beers do too. Bud Light. Easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
Wes, can I ask you a question?
Sure, son. Say what you gotta say.
Why in tarnation did you hire me?
You got a good heart, and you treat people right.
Golly, you're gonna make my face turn red. Listen up, I ain't good at making pizzas like Connor.
Not all of us are Connors, Billy. We need Billies, too.
But Wes, I can't figure out how you tolerate me. There are days I can't tolerate myself.
Billy, you're perfect the way you are. I see you like my own son.
You mean Connor?
Yeah, but you're like the yin to Connor's yang.
Wes, I don't think you can say that on the radio. You're gonna make him hotter than a goat's butt in a pepper patch.
Jim's Razorback Pizza. Blessed to serve you. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
And we're back
back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, mostly cloudy skies early with a chance of some showers to start. Then we should see an increase in the sunshine late in the day. High temperatures this afternoon into the upper 70s. We'll see a chance of a few overnight showers tonight, low to mid 60s, and a few showers, possibly a rumble of thunder or two on Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Tally at the 40, midfield, at the UCF 40, the 30, Tally at the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown Arkansas!
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
Give the man a chance, see if he can right the ship, and I, for one, believe he can. I guess we're going to find out.
We had a bad offensive coordinator that didn't fit KJ. KJ needs to be in that RPO.
Really love to see offense step it up, play with some passion, play with some sense of urgency, play with some fire.
Has the offense been great? No. But at the same time, I think you also got to look at the level of competition you've been playing as well.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text The Morning Rush on the McClarty Daniel hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
Yes, sir.
It is hour number 3 of the Morning Rush, and the Hall of Famer Clay Henry set to join us as we keep it going here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. We've received plenty of beefs on the McClarty Daniel hotline. We've also received plenty of comments following the discussion KJ Jefferson had with the guys on halftime yesterday and Coach Pitman earlier this week.
All right, we'll get to Clay in just a second. We're brought to you by Riley Farm Dental. They are at the entrance to Riley Farms. They provide every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry to braces to implants, cosmetics. They got 3 great doctors there, Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer, that all make sure you're comfortable, got a better smile, a more confident feel as you leave Riley Farm Dental. You're going to love the feel you get there. It's great for kids as well. They got the TVs built into the ceiling. They got fun rooms there that the kids are comfortable and really enjoy. And they now offer same-day crowns. And anyone that's ever had a crown come out or a broken one knows that is huge to have a place that can get same-day crowns done as well. 226-3500 for an appointment, 479-226-3500, or see more online at RileyFarmDental.com.
Peyton is in Clinton this morning on the McClarty Daniel hotline, home of the Yellow Jackets, as I just found out. I knew it was something yellow. What's up, Peyton?
Oh, man, Ty, I got to skin you up a little bit. Arkansas Razorbacks, Dallas Cowboys, Clinton Yellow Jackets. Those are the staples, right?
There you go.
But, man, my Watch Your Beef Wednesday, I got to say, every time I hear about tickets scanned versus tickets sold, I twitch a little bit. I haven't been to a game in a few years, but I went to the Texas one a couple of years back, and, the university was really selling it. Let's get a record here. Let's break the attendance record. They gave up on scanning tickets about 30 minutes before the game started at the gate I was at. They started sending people through security. So I'm not sure what the actual number would have been for tickets scanned, but I know it would have been higher.
Well, that's fine with me. They want to do that for the Duke game. I mean, you want to get everyone in the house for the Duke game. You want to have over 20,000 people in the building like you did against Auburn.
Well, there's only 19,200 seats.
I can stand in the aisles. I just want that place packed out.
Check with the fire marshal on that one.
He's off that day.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
No, I've seen that before, Peyton. I've seen that at a couple events. Like, you go through security, and then the ticket security isn't like there, or they're just very quote unquote lenient. So I've seen that too.
But, and then a lot of people's talking about, our receivers, not knowing the routes and getting bunched up a lot. To me, that goes right back to the coach. And if you're 8 games in and you don't know where you're supposed to go and you're still sending that player out there, coach needs to do something.
Yeah, and I would say there's some truth. I appreciate your call this morning, Peyton. Again, the offense has just been out of sync, out of flux. There's been a bunch of things that happen, and the blame's been all around. You can blame it on Coach Pitman. You can blame it on Dan Enos. You can blame it on KJ Jefferson. You can blame it on the receivers, offensive line, running backs. I don't think an abnormal amount of blame directly deserves to be on one specific person like it seems to be on Dan Enos to this point.
Well, no one knows Dan Enos' style and system better than Clay Henry, who's with us now on the Morning Rush. Clay, why did it not work with Dan Enos this time around at Arkansas? Hang on. Yep, you
Try to.
Turn the pod on there on 2. All right, now let's go, Clay. Why didn't it work this time?
Well, I think it's kind of the perfect storm. I think you had a lot of new players. And when I say new players, receivers, the passing game, just was not in sync, just like the caller just said. You had a lot of guys that were coming from a different level. They were adjusting to the speed of the game. Their routes, didn't seem to be sharp. Sometimes there were. But I think that it comes down to pass protection more than anything else. And, everybody points to offensive line, but a lot of the breakdowns that I saw were tight end and running back related. And those guys have to be in sync. And when you call, a check, a protection, everybody's got to get it. And then, nobody's talking about this, but they played a lot of road games. And road games, noise, and when you're trying to make checks and you're trying to change protections, sometimes it doesn't get there. And, you could see the frustration with KJ. He would point at guys because he knew that they weren't hearing him, and it didn't happen. And so I think all of that added up. You're running a different system altogether. It's a drop back system. It is, option routes, and they just didn't seem like they were on the same page. And I think then it got to be frustrating. And then I think the real issue that kind of built up is Dan is very demanding. He put a lot of pressure on everybody, put a lot of pressure on assistant coaches. And when it wasn't working, and it's obvious that it's not working, they know within their building, what's going on. And, then you kind of lost your spirit, and I didn't necessarily say, their spirit's gone or whatever. Sam did, and that was the best way to explain it. It just didn't look like they had a stinger. And it became even more frustrating because the defense was getting it done. I think that all of us would have said if you gave this team over the last 7, 8, 9, 10 years of defense like you have now, you'd be winning games and you'd be in contention in the West. And that's the thing that really kills you, because you don't have an offense to match what's finally a representative defense.
Clay Henry with us here on the Morning Rush. So where does Kenny Guyton go from here? I think this feels like more of a collaborative effort with KJ involved, the offensive staff involved, and Coach Sam Pitman, talked on Monday. Hey, he's got to get his hands in there, and he's going to be in that meeting room more. So, kind of where does this offense go from here?
Yeah, I will say this: it's been my understanding when I watch offenses struggle early in the season, you cut back, you do less, and you make sure that the 4, 5, 6 plays that you run, and it's really more plays than that, because you can run them to either side, and that you're really good at those, and you understand how to block every front with those plays, and you don't do too much. And I've seen Coach Broyles do it, Coach Holtz do it. That you just simplify things and you make it where your guys know exactly what to do with that set of plays, and they're what your guys can do. And I think that what frustrated Sam, and you heard it come out Monday, is that he saw some plays that seemed to work in that last game, and they might not get called a second time. And, there's nothing wrong. If you got a play that works, there's nothing wrong with calling it 10 times. And, I watched Gus Malzahn run plays when they're rolling up 600 yards of offense against Arkansas, run 2 plays. They run them those 2 plays to the right and one those 2 plays to the left, and they run them over and over until you stop them. So they came out in the second half and lined up toe-to-toe, really cutting down the splits. You could see a huge difference between splits, between the way Arkansas lined up and the way Mississippi State's offensive line lined up. Arkansas's guys were in there tight, and they were running it straight ahead, and they were, they were kind of munching down on those guys and didn't care what happened on the outside, and they got some movement. And then Dan stopped calling those plays, and I think that really frustrated Sam. And I sensed that Sam was upset because I watched him, and he moved. Say the Arkansas offense had the ball, say, at the Mississippi State 35, in the third quarter. He moved to the other end of the coaching box, like the 30-yard line, where he was away from everybody else. And I think that was his time that he was telling Dan, don't run those plays. Run the ones that are working. And I knew at that point, I could see him kind of talking with his hands, like Tommy, when you're really mad at Ty, which happens often.
I knew this comparison was coming.
And you start talking with your hands, and you start pointing, even though Ty might be, on a cell phone somewhere else. Mm-hmm. I've seen you do that. We're down at the river, and you're talking to Ty, and all at once you get really animated. Yeah. And I might be 30 yards away, but I can tell you're not happy. And I said, who are you talking to? It was Ty. Yeah. Well, that's what was going on in my eyes. I can't promise you that's exactly it, but he was definitely wanting certain plays called. And, he said it. We practiced the rollouts. We practiced the boots. We get in the games and didn't see them. And we would hear him talk on Tuesday and Wednesday. We're going to move the pocket. We're going to move the pocket. They didn't move the pocket.
So let me ask you this.
So those are the things that I think are going to happen. I think they're going to run certain plays they feel like they can be successful, and if they are, they're going to keep running them. And I think they're going to move the pocket and make it easier for KJ to get out and get things uncluttered, where his view is uncluttered.
Clay, to that point, I know no one likes a micromanager as a boss. And I know that coordinators love to have their own jurisdiction with their unit. But isn't that Sam's job in the midst of a game to say, this is what we need to do? I mean,
and I think that's what he's doing, and that's why he fired his butt.
But I get the firing aspect. But, like, mid-game, we need to run this. Because, Saban overrules stuff. I would guess Smart overrules stuff. There are coaches across the board that in the middle of a game, if something's called or something, they don't let it. Isn't that partially also on Pitman in the midst of a game not to let things go, not to let things play out, to say enough is enough? This is my call. This is my butt, right?
Well, you can fire him in the game if you want to. He waited until after the game and fired him. But I think that it's if that's what you want to say, that's fine. He fired him. That's all I can tell you. Should have he fired him 2 games ago? Should have he fired him in the first quarter? And there's criticism to go for Sam. He sit there and he took it, and it's like, it's on me. So yeah, it is. And that's should he have just taken over the play calling? Is that what you're saying? But it's if you let that guy prepare and he's got the sheet up there, at some point, you just have to say, man, this is the wrong guy.
Mm-hmm. Let's transition to Guyton from Enos. So here's a guy that's never called plays, played the position like Dan Enos did much less time ago at Ohio State, back basically a decade or so. And he's coming in this situation where there's not a lot expected with him outside of the state of Arkansas. How do you think he approaches these next 4.5 weeks, basically, where he's not doesn't have the title of offensive coordinator? He's technically calling plays and the QB coach now. How do you think Kenny approaches this, Clay?
Yeah, I think he approaches it with enthusiasm. I think he's going to be encouraging, and I think he's going to run a practice that is a shortened practice as far as number of plays that they try to run, and they're going to try to polish those plays. But more than anything else, I don't think it's about the play calling. I think it's about getting the room back. I think it's about getting the offense. And, you know, it's whatever you do, you're accountable. And you need to be called, you know, the coach needs to be demanding. You didn't get it done. But they've got to do something to get their stinger back. That's the word I've always used. You know, Sam used spirit, but they didn't have their stinger. And even when they came out in the second half and I thought they were having a little success running the ball, you know, they weren't jumping around. They weren't, you know, it wasn't like, hey, they just didn't look like fighting Razorbacks to me. That's what he's got to get back more than anything else. And it's a mental thing as much as it is a physical thing. And we all know that, you know, a good play call is better than a bad play call. But he's got to get KJ to believe in him. And it happens in the meeting room and it happens in the practice field. And I think that KJ will tell him these are the plays that I think I can run and want to run. And I don't think that was happening with Dan.
Brought to you by Sassy's this morning. If you're thinking about a place to head out this weekend, maybe before or after the Purdue basketball game, there's 2 locations in Fayetteville, the original Sassy's Red House on North College, and then Sassy's Barbecue and Grill just off the Weddington exit. They've got those original smoked wings that are just, I think every meal should start with those smoked wings. Baby back ribs, the tender brisket, the pulled pork, it's all there. Great selection of sides as well. And don't forget on game days, they got the Razor Packs. You can order those online at sassysbarbecue.com. Don't forget happy hour during the week, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday. So find that at Sassy's. When it comes to barbecue, catfish, burgers, and more, nobody does it better than Sassy's. Eat, drink, and be sassy. Clay, through all this offensive inefficiencies and the anemic offense, somehow the defense has kept it together. I think that's the most amazing thing that we've seen. The defense has played at a really high level. You know, sometimes teams implode when one side of the ball is not holding up their end of the bargain. That has not happened yet with this team, and this defense is playing really well.
Yeah, kudos to Travis Williams and Deke Adams and Marcus Woodson. I mean, those guys, they have done what they said they were going to do in the summer. And it is in stark contrast to what we've seen on the offense, which makes it even more remarkable that they've held up. And you know, if that's been the issue at Arkansas, and if they can play defense, they can win in the SEC. Because I've seen it is to me it's easier to play offense. You're the guys that know where the play's going. You're the guy that know the snap count. You know, I think that we have watched Arkansas's defense just flounder, be among the nation's worst. And, you know, it's like they just can't recruit the right players or they can't get enough players. Well, they got the right players. They went out in the portal. First of all, they identified in December when he was hired, they identified we got to have 5 more defensive linemen. We got to have 3 more linebackers. We got to have 5 more defensive backs. They went out and got all those guys and older players. I mean, it's an Eric Musselman turn over the roster job on defense, and that's what gives me hope for offense because they can do that on offense too. I mean, that they thought they had tackles. They were going to be young, but they thought they had them, and they were wrong. They've got to, you know, of course, these tackles will get better with experience. They're going to have another year, but they're going to be running a new offense, no doubt. So they've got to go out and find another center and probably, you know, 3 more linemen, you know, that can you know, give them depth where their competition in practice is standardized. You know, it's not substandard where you say, well, this is the only guy we got's ready to play. You got to have, you know, 8, 9 guys ready to play, and then you can have competition, and then your offensive line is going to roll. It can be done, and we know it can be done. And they, I think that, the tight ends that they've got are going to grow up. They've got a good tight ends coach. We know that. He was one of the best that they could have found. But they're just dealing with a brand-new tight ends room, and physically they're not ready to block defensive ends. And when they've tried that, it's failed. But that position will be a position of strength, over the next couple of years.
How difficult do you think it's to recruit on the offensive side of the ball right now with a placeholder, at least seemingly at offensive coordinator?
Ty, this is my view, and the great thing that allows for recruiting is opportunity to play. That's what players want. That's what they want to see. Mm-hmm. And Dave Van Horn, they got a loaded roster, but the great left-handed pitcher at Texas Tech, last name is Molina. He wanted a chance to be a starting pitcher, and they had an opening. He came to Arkansas. I think that players look and see where can I walk in, and I've got one more year or I got 2 more years. I want to play immediately. They're going to see that they can play immediately at Arkansas, and coaches are going to tell you, hey, we got a void right here. You can step in and be a player. And they've done that. I think they told Tykeus Crawford that. He's been hurt. I think that they told Devin Manuel that. He's been hurt. So they have been unlucky a little bit in the offensive line. But they didn't get enough. They didn't have enough tackles. But I think some of these young players are going to develop. But you need to make sure and bring in some guys that have already played, and you see their work on film and know that they can play like they did with Jeff Coat and I can go all across the defensive line. Those guys were all playing mostly at Power 5 schools and having success. You knew they could play, and they've got to get more guys.
All right, Clay Henry with us. We'll take your calls and your texts. If you got questions for Clay, you can bring those on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. We're brought to you by Buffington Homes and the Cottages at the Park in Springdale. Where you live is always one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make for you and your family. And the Cottages at the Park, it's the newest community from Buffington Homes and is one of the most convenient places to live in Northwest Arkansas. Located on the north side of Springdale, it's just steps away from the newly constructed Shaw Family Park. And people love Springdale because it's close to everything. You're a 15-minute drive from Fayetteville, Rogers, and Bentonville. And we mentioned Shaw's Family Park, the Shaw Family Park. It's a 120-acre city park that's just right next door. So if you want to learn more about Cottages at the Park, go to BuffingtonHomesAR.com/hogradio. BuffingtonHomesAR.com/hogradio. Buffington Homes, helping you build a life you'll love.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McClarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McClarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McClarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Rockwell and Orwell are both known for their work from 1984. It's no conspiracy that somebody's watching me, because the terms and agreements that no one reads is the reason there's no privacy. Big Tech is tracking every move you make and is starting to control society and how you participate. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and Revelation 13 describes a mark for those who fall for this utopian dream. I'm Pastor Eve from Woodland. Read about it.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.
Looking for an African adventure without the hassle of planning? Kruger Safari Club has got you covered. Our custom hunting and safari packages take care of everything from transportation to accommodations, so you can focus on enjoying the experience of a lifetime. With our team's extensive knowledge of the best hunting and safari spots in South Africa, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe, you'll have access to some of the most breathtaking views and exciting game hunting opportunities on the planet. And with our commitment to ethical hunting and giving back to the local community, you'll know that your trip with us is making a positive impact. Book your trip now and let us take care of the rest. Find out more at KrugerSafariClub.com.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business, on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Issues. Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Hardee's 2 for $5 mix and match breakfast bake goodness into your morning. Pick any 2 handcrafted favorites for only $5. Choose a made-from-scratch biscuit stacked with sausage and egg, biscuit and gravy, or a country fried steak biscuit. With Hardee's 2 for $5 mix and match breakfast, you get double the breakfast goodness for just $5. Hardee's, goodness in the making. These items only, tax not included. Price and participation may vary.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I appreciate, Ty, you and Tommy having me on this morning. It's always great to join the morning rush.
Then Satania back to his own 13-yard line. Out across the 20 to the 25 to the 30. Satania trying to get to midfield. He's across the 50. He's got a chance to go. Isaiah at the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas. A 53-yard punt, an 87-yard return, and there you have it. Isaiah Satania, the redshirt freshman from Fayetteville, takes it to the house.
Subscribe to the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, and share.
Maybe you'll get a better special teams performance like you had, and that one continues in the last 4 games. And when I say better, maybe he'll take another touchdown. I think he'll take any of those. Special teams, Cam Little, Max Fletcher have been awesome. If you can get another special team touchdown in the next 4 games, that'd be great.
Yeah. Hey, we're brought to you by Vici Aesthetics and Wellness. 479-343-8424 is their number. You can call or text to set up your first appointment to talk about semaglutide or tirzepatide, the weight loss game changers. These are FDA-approved medications. If you've had a friend or anyone around and kind of in your circle that has lost weight with the shot, this is what people are doing now. It's the newest innovation, if you will, in weight loss and weight management. You'll visit with their medical staff. Their doctor will go over your medical history and where your health conditions are at. They'll also set up a program for you with either semaglutide or tirzepatide to get you the results you're looking for before the holidays. So if you're looking to get weight off before Thanksgiving and Christmas, get here. Vici Aesthetics and Wellness can do that for you. 479-343-8424. Call or text that number, 479-343-8424. Vici Aesthetics and Wellness.
Bruce is with us here on the McCarty Daniel Hotline. St. Joe, Arkansas, home of the Wildcats. Bruce, welcome in with Tommy, Big C, Clay, and Ty.
Kind of similar to what Nick Pitman was talking about this week, where they practice certain teams and then ran other stuff during games, or teams run the stuff in practice at all. If there's going to be any similarities that are made there.
Well, what I took from the interview yesterday, more than anything, is simple.
What are we doing here?
And when they asked, well, what
Hello?
did we
All right, turn that off. Wasn't sure what we were listening to there.
Well, what were we listening to?
Huh?
Is that his Bluetooth?
I think he was listening online, and that was us, the delay. So I was confused.
All right, Bruce, one more time. Are you there?
Yes.
All right, turn your radio off. Go ahead.
Okay, got it.
What's your question?
My question is, I mean, I love Clay, love the show, but listened to it for years. You know, our weapons, if you look at our weapons on offense, and you think about it, K.J. Jefferson, Rocket Sanders, Luke Haas, and maybe the Armstrong kid. And we've lost 50% of our total weapons, really, on offense that we can count on. I think Dan Eno's firing was great. I think it had to go. His offense was a head scratcher, but I think KJ will settle down, and I think now we find some more weapons. We've got to find some more weapons and go-to guys. But I think Sam Pitman will get it done, and I hated to see people wanting to fire Sam Pitman. And that's all I got.
Thanks, Bruce. Yeah, I mean, losing Luke Haas, who was on his way to a freshman All-American tight end. Clay, I think you've said this. He might still get it. We'll have to wait and see if anyone else really stands out this year. Rocket was a preseason All-SEC player, first team. Don't have him. I think Andrew is a good wide receiver. He's just, even on these deep routes where he's gotten open guys, there's no time to throw him the football. So I think, Clay, that's a fair point. You lost 50% of maybe your best weapons on this team at points of the season.
Yeah, I mean, Devin Manuel was expected to be the starter at left tackle, and that hadn't panned out. I think that the early part of the year was frustrating for all the coaches because your left side of your offensive line had been decimated in camp. I mean, Brady Latham didn't practice for 3 weeks, missed the first game. I was out there for 3 straight Thursday and never saw him practice. And you can't miss, almost a month of practice and it not show up. And it did show up with penalties. And he should have been one of your best players. So I know that frustrated the coaches, but they knew, they tried to reshuffle that line in that first game, playing guys out of position, moving Bo Limmer. They rotated between where they wanted to play Amari Wiggins at guard or at center, and those things just didn't work out. And so I do believe that that they do have some weapons, and I think Ty Washington is a very suitable replacement for Luke Haas. And there were some games where he was found, I believe at Ole Miss, they found him for 2 touchdowns. Then they missed him, last week. I mean, he's open in the end zone. The pass didn't come out right away. It looked like it was just out of sync, not a lot of rhythm there. And so you're going to have to do things that the players and the offensive line can handle. And so I think that's the task for Kenny Guyton. Move the pocket. Don't call 29 dropbacks. It just looked like that was not going to work, and that was what Danino's, that's where he hangs his hat, is drop back passing. And so I think that the good coaches identify what your players can do and don't ask them to do any more than that, and that's what Kenny's going to do.
Brought to you by Matchstick Studios and Modular Orange. Your website is a utility. It's like your electric, your water, your internet, gas service to your business. You got to have a website that looks great and attracts customers. Do you focus on that, or have you kind of lost touch with your website for your business? Let Matchstick Studios and Modular Orange create, write, design, launch, host, secure, all the aspects you don't even want to know about. They'll take care of your website for $95 a month. They'll keep it up to date from there and keep it up and going from there as well. And right now, they'll donate $50 to the Bright Stars campaign with Arkansas Children's Hospital before the end of the year if you do your website now. Modular Orange, 755-3043 or modularorange.com.
Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
This is Chuck Barrett, the voice of the...
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McCarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McCarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McCarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch, big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got puppies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Rockwell and Orwell are both known for their work from 1984. It's no conspiracy that somebody's watching me, because the terms and agreements that no one reads is the reason there's no privacy. Big tech is tracking every move you make and is starting to control society and how you participate. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and Revelation 13 describes a mark for those who fall for this utopian dream. I'm Pastor Eve from Woodland. Read about it.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.
Looking for an African adventure without the hassle of planning? Kruger Safari Club has got you covered. Our custom hunting and safari packages take care of everything from transportation to accommodations, so you can focus on enjoying the experience of a lifetime. With our team's extensive knowledge of the best hunting and safari spots in South Africa, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe, You'll have access to some of the most breathtaking views and exciting game hunting opportunities on the planet. And with our commitment to ethical hunting and giving back to the local community, you'll know that your trip with us is making a positive impact. Book your trip now and let us take care of the rest. Find out more at KrugerSafariClub.com.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
We've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
So Alabama and Tennessee played Bryant-Denny Stadium last week. Drew the largest audience to this point on the SEC on CBS. Had over 8 million people. It was still behind Penn State and Ohio State on Fox, which had nearly 10 million people to this point. The reason I bring this up, guys, how much of a drop-off do you think CBS has, if at all, or do they increase their 2:30 slot moving to the Big Ten games next year? Or they're going to put one of the marquee games in that position. Does it go up because of population, or does it go down because it's not going to be the same quality of football? In y'all's opinion.
Yeah, when I look at those 11 o'clock matchups, and I think, what would they draw at 2 p.m.? And I think they'll do pretty good. I know there's an awful lot of people in Ohio and Pennsylvania. I mean, I think that will be first of all, I think CBS is absolutely the best in the way they produce a game. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think they are the gold standard. And I go back to Tommy. You know, I've got a good friend that's a replay guy, and he retired this year. That's Gerald Hodges, and he's plugged into the producers of those games, and he's worked with every network, and he's worked national championship games, national championship playoff games. He's worked different leagues. When they have a neutral or a non-conference game that doesn't involve an SEC team, sometimes they bring in the top SEC crew, just like we saw a Big 8 crew for some games, and or bowl games. And he says when you work with the CBS crew, it is night and day different. And so I just think the production will be of a level that you have a top end, Big Ten game. Those 2:30 games are going to they're going to explode on that network just because of the number of people, like you said, Ty.
The viewing experience is better on CBS. They have aerial cameras. They have more angles.
They got about 20 cameras.
Yeah, they have more cameras, but they all, they generally have either a drone or they'll fly a plane. Where you watch an ESPN there's never an overhead shot of the stadium. And to me, that it's window dressing, but it's just a better presentation. CBS has been, I think, the best presenter of college football's product on TV.
Gold standard.
Regardless of network.
Yeah. And
their
that
cuts,
won't change.
The way they cut from shot to shot, man, we're getting in the weeds, but just the way they go about presenting the product is just head and shoulders above ESPN or Fox.
And I think it was a mistake for the SEC to put all its chips within Disney and ESPN and ABC. I think if they'd given the opportunity, I would bet they had a chance to spread it out over the course of a couple networks. But that's where we are starting in 2024 when it comes to this conference's football schedule. Congrats to Michaela Daniels, who's been named preseason All-SEC second team by the league's coaches. They announced that yesterday. We know we've seen, again, the media select the Arkansas basketball team being third, picked sixth in the women's side of things. And we've seen Trevin Brazile, Devo Davis voted on by the media. Curious to see when the coaches will come out with the male selection as well. Clay, we haven't talked to you about basketball yet. I know Muss is excited. He talked about it being a national championship team coming in this Saturday.
Certainly to get a chance to play somebody in an exhibition game, to be able to play a team that has a chance to win a national championship, certainly makes this game way more meaningful and way more special than just a normal exhibition game when you look at lessons that can be learned once this game is over.
Clay, it's not an SEC battle, but you do have an SEC team that's trying to, again, while it's not actually going to the record books, they're trying to make an impact early in college basketball.
Yeah, and it's a chance to find out about your team. More than anything else, you get to look at your guys against somebody else that you know is representative of the cream of the crop in the college basketball world. And I want to tell you that this is a game that Purdue coach Matt Painter asked for. I mean, this was they got beat in the first round of the tournament last year by a smaller, quicker team, very athletic. And they looked around as like, who do we know is going to put athletes on the floor and give us that kind of a look where we can find out, can our guys play against quickness? And Arkansas was that's a compliment to me, to Eric Musselman. And he knew what kind of a roster he's putting together. He wanted to play against guards like Devo Davis. I mean, he wants his guys to go up against that. He wants his center, Edie, to go against quickness, guys that are diving down and doubling on the low blocks. He wants to see somebody that has ability to take the ball to the hole, with quickness. And I think it's a great matchup, and I think it's the way college basketball should be done. It's a freebie for both teams. It doesn't count. I don't think the Arkansas-Texas game last year, I don't think it hurt Arkansas at all last year in the national perception. I think everybody knew exactly what that was. It's an exhibition, and it'll be the same way for this. If Purdue stumbles, I don't think it'll hurt them. Everybody knows Bud Walton's a hard place to play. But I give Matt Painter a lot of credit, as I give credit to Eric Musselman for saying, yeah, come on, we love that.
Yeah. And I think with this older, more experienced veteran team, Muss's teams have had a way of ramping up to their best play. I'm not saying that they won't play better in February and March than they'll play in November, but I think they'll plateau at a higher level earlier in the year, Clay.
Yeah, and without question, there is a developmental aspect to what he's doing with this many new pieces. So Purdue should be more in midseason form with 7 returning players in their top 8. I mean, they got all their scoring back. They got their complete starting 5 back, and let's face it, they were a good team last year that ran into an odd situation. A really good small team with quickness that hit on all cylinders in one of those rare moments where David. Just stepped up and stroked Goliath. And I don't know, that's I don't mean to say that Edie is Goliath, but their team, was the top seed.
It was a lot of fun to watching that in Des Moines, Iowa after Arkansas got their victory over Kansas. It's a good time. That's going to do it for your
Purdue has lived with that for 12 months or 10 months.
I'm glad they have. That's going to do it for your SEC update this morning here on a Wednesday.
You know, we were talking about, the cooler weather. That means comfort foods. That means burgers and fries for me, and that means CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. Hey, these last few days, though, Ty, of these 70 and 80-degree daytime highs might mean get that last warm weather milkshake in before it cools off.
Yep. Again, they've got those new milkshakes that they introduced in the summer. If you want to stop by and get one of those, and if you want a burger, you don't want to wait till the games are back in Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium, November 11th, that 3-game stretch, then stop on by either the Fayetteville or Russellville location. You can come see Sally and Keith at the CJ's in Russellville or Keith at the CJ's in Fayetteville. And again, whatever you get, you're going to be satisfied. Burgers, fries, shakes. We like to get the chicken sandwich from time to time as well.
Yeah, and that's at the Fayetteville location. So CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers, Russellville and in Fayetteville. Nobody does it better than CJ's. Hey, Clay, I asked this of Ty earlier. I want to ask you, we've heard some different talk and some real honesty out of Sam Pitman. Some things he said about getting his hands more involved in the offense. How much is he missing Barry Odom and that sounding board he had with his previous defensive coordinator?
Yeah, I think that as a previous head coach in the SEC, there certainly was value with what Barry could bring. Dan's been a head coach too. He worked at Alabama and Maryland and Miami. I mean, he's got experience, so there's another sounding board. But yeah, I think that's a good point, Tommy. But it's it's 4 years in. He should be able to handle it. I heard an interesting interview at halftime of the soccer match and with Kobe Hale, and what's he in his 10th, 11th year? I don't know. I mean, what the numbers are, but he said that he didn't have a lot of pressure when he came into Arkansas. Got things turned around. Started getting his team in the NCAA tournament. About his third year, he kind of hit the wall as far as, okay, what do I do to take my team to the next level? I mean, am I making the right decisions? And he said he had a clinic where he talked about with young coaches, where he talked about how to build a blueprint, and he said that those next couple of teams didn't do so well, and he realized maybe I don't have all the answers, maybe I'm still learning. And so I think there's that process, and I don't care who you are, you're learning it, all the time. And he said he wanted to give the money back to those young coaches that came in for that clinic about, how to build a program, because he said I was still trying to figure it out, adjusting his recruiting, what works, what doesn't work. And I think that's what Sam's been doing, and it's Barry Odom was really a good voice in that room.
Yeah, and I would say that, again, still figuring out to a certain extent. I know that he's been around the coaching block a long time, but a head coach in the Southeastern Conference is much different than an assistant coach or being head coach. Was it Hutchinson? Is that right? 2 years at Hutchinson, if I remember that right, Clay?
I think that's right.
Okay, yeah. So we'll see if hopefully this bye week will be good for the program. Good to see some better offense next week in Gainesville. We'll be there for that.
1 year at Princeton High School in Missouri. He had 3 years as a head coach. Yep. That's not the SEC, baby.
It's a little different. Well, Clay, we appreciate you joining us as always, man, here on a Wednesday. You got any beefs as we close down shop here?
I got a beef.
Yeah?
I got a beef. And it doesn't involve you, Ty. I just know that'll make you happy. You're at a stoplight, and you're the second car. In the car in front of you, the light turns green, and you look, and their head is down, and you know what they're doing. They're texting. They're checking email. The light's green. And you sit there. I'm not a guy that honks. But by gosh, I'm going to start honking. I'm going to start pounding on that horn. And I'm going to make them miserable with what I do to them. That's my beef is when you're in your car, put your phone up. Put it away. And you can do voice texting, but keep your eye on those stoplight when you're waiting.
When you're first.
It's so frustrating to everybody else.
You know what's worse is when you're seventh and you miss the light because that jackwagon.
How about if you're second and you miss the light?
Well, that's even worse.
Yeah. I would be quicker to hit the horn, but I know you're more patient.
I want to get out and go up and pound on their window and just scare the crap out of them.
Do it, big boy.
You should do it. Yeah, come on, Clay.
Come on.
You've got the cachet.
If I see it, if it's a Camry, I'm doing it.
It's a Camry. Do I drive a Camry? Oh, I drive a Camry. There's the connection.
You still drive a Camry?
I still drive it. I got probably 100,000 to 150 more miles on that sucker.
Hey,
Hopefully,
boys, I'm headed to Fayetteville a little bit, and I might have to go get one of those CJ's milkshakes.
Go by and see Keith. There you go.
Yeah.
That's going to wrap up for today here on the Morning Rush. Chuck will be back with us tomorrow. Still more from Coach, KJ, and a lot more tomorrow at 6 a.m.
Tommy Kraft here for the Fence Man. Do you own